Hey, 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 everyone. Let me see your transcript, your very favorite history teacher. Thank you so much for waiting. We were having technical difficulties. How are y'all doing this evening? You got your drink? Here is the Cigar vlogger and Mr. Mad Church Disease. How are you gentlemen doing today?
I'm fine. Did we miss the A-Team intro?
I was about to play it, but I wanted to introduce you first.
Oh, okay.
Let everybody hear that wonderful voice.
Oh, okay.
That sexy Pooh Bear voice.
Okay.
I don't want the gummy bear groupies. I won't be in trouble with the gummy bear groupies.
No, you'll be all right. You'll be all right.
Oh, I'll be all right. Okay, all right.
Live from a place where smart parts exist. It's Friday night with the A-Team with your host, Darryl the Cigar Vlogger Moore, Roxanne, Let Me See Your Transcript, and Mad Church Disease. If your YouTube channel is the entertainment leg of your church, the Alphabet Boys are looking for you in Nutville. It's a night of fun and laughs and trending topics, so sit back and listen and enjoy the show.
Hey, we're back. Hey, everyone. We are missing 1/4 of our member, Roxanne. She is at home resting, so please keep her in prayers, okay? Alrighty. Anything? So how was your week, Marcellus?
It's going fine so far, but before I get into that, I just want to tell everybody first, Roxanne, of course, is recovering, and so we are most certainly, keeping her in our prayers. Tonight, we will be having a special guest. Mina C will be joining us in about 25 minutes or so. She is actually driving on her way home. Shout out to all of these awesome moderators and folks that are in the chat: Barbara, Trissa, and Jacqueline Vines. Joe Lady, good to have you with us here tonight. LL, let me see. Ava Collier, thank you. Michelle Foster, what up? Ray of Sunshine, good to see you here as well. And just all of the folks that are in the chat that are joining us on tonight. If you are joining us, please make sure that you do hit the like button. And we want you to do that every week. We actually rotate this particular show on every body's platform, so it's actually rotated on mine, Roxanne, Darryl the Cigar Vlogger's platform as well. And so we rotate this show every Friday. So if you don't want to miss this particular program, just make sure that you take a look at our community walls to make sure that you don't miss the program, because we're posting each week to let you know where those programs are going to be. Now, as far as my week is concerned, it's been very restful. I've had a good night of sleep yesterday as well as today. Today I had a better night of sleep today, because you guys know I've been struggling in that area. And so I'm doing really well with my sleep. My beverage of choice tonight, ladies and gentlemen, is rum with a dab of Coke. Just a dab of Coke.
A dab
of Coke. So I have more rum than I do Coke.
Oh boy, it's gonna be an interesting night, everybody.
Oh yes, it is.
It's gonna be interesting. We're gonna get a different voice. We're gonna get the rum and Coke voice.
Well, I don't know. It's gonna be the same voice. I don't know if it's gonna be slurred or not. But Darryl, we got something that you mentioned to me offline before we came online. I don't know if you're going to talk about that, but you just got something. I think that would make for a good discussion here tonight as well, about what does when a black father takes his adult son and celebrates his manhood and brings him into manhood.
That is so sweet.
I think for some people and for some women, some black mothers, they seem to have trouble understanding, and just some mothers in general seem to have an understanding, a difficult time with that transition between a son going from teenager into manhood and having that manhood brought forth through the lens of a father. And so maybe later we can talk about that. But I just thought what we talked about offline, I thought was really interesting.
Yeah, I want to talk about that. That is therapeutic. Mm-hmm.
All right, and that is on the schedule for tonight. Because I definitely want to Darryl to talk about that, because I really do I do like that the fact that Darryl's a really good example. Well, he is a good father, and he is a good example of a father.
Thank you.
Who's in the life of his boys. And definitely mothers and also other fathers out there need to be listening to what you are saying. Okay.
Absolutely.
Before we get into, you're welcome. Before we get into our list, definitely praying for Mina, who is driving home. So hopefully everything's okay on the road, because the weather's been really weird this week. It's like it's rainy, it's tornadoes. It's like, oh, we're gonna drop a temperature. I start getting PTSD, think it's gonna be another freeze. I'm just like, okay, what's going on? So, but yeah,
well, you know, it don't take much for you to get PTSD, Kim. You know, it don't take much. Look, if Roxanne walk out of the room or she end up, clicking herself off the screen, here you go. What happened to Roxanne? You get your PTSD quick.
But this is the thing, you guys. I was talking to my best friend offline. I said, these are my friends. I know I don't see them in person, but you guys are my friends, and I love you like you're members of my family. So when you're not there or you click off, my thing is, are you okay?
Right. And of course, I
don't
love
do that
you too
for
with
people
your
who I
crazy
don't
self.
like.
And we love you too with your crazy self.
Yeah. So one of the first things I wanted to talk about this past week, it's just been the news. It's just been. I just want to know: are the white people okay? Was there a Republican meeting and they said, okay, this is what we're doing this week? And because it's just craziness. Unfortunately, a man from Texas, San Antonio, was found outside Vice President Kamala Harris's residence, or the official residence of the Vice President in Washington, D.C. He had all these guns and ammo on him. What do you think about that, Darryl?
That's like I was telling Roxanne earlier today. I said, how is it that I know the Secret Service guards that area? How is it that he was able to get that close? That's one. Then she said, well, he might have came up through the alleyways. I said, but I know the Secret Service got to have cameras and everything. So, and then I said, I think it's, before I could say it, she said, I think it's an inside job. And I was like, yeah, I think so too, because you don't get that close to the vice president's house. You never heard anything like that when Biden was vice president, or Pence.
Right.
And, But now a black woman is in office as the vice president. Now all of a sudden you can get right outside her house, and you got a cache of a car full of ammunition and weapons. I'm not buying it.
Well, I think the interesting thing about that, Darryl, and I mean, I think it's time that this country comes to grips with the understanding that the most dangerous thing in America is a radicalized white male in the United States. Because most of these things that are happening in our country are happening because of radicalized white men. And so I think that is something that most certainly needs to be talked about. And I think all of this comes and stems from the browning of this country and the ethnic changing of this country. And these folks are fighting to hold on to power at any cost. I mean, just flat out trying to suppress the votes of millions and millions of people. And they are willing to change the laws. They literally want to change the laws on the book. Now, get this, because I read something on social media where they were talking about they have put together like how many bills, like 250 something bills that they're presenting judicial things versus, for saying that there's election fraud, and there's been no election fraud proven. And they're putting all of these bills together, and it's only to annihilate and keep people from having the ability to vote.
Voter suppression. And
my state is one of them.
Georgia's really going at it. trying to suppress.
My state is also Governor Greg Abbott is supporting SB 7, saying that it's all about election integrity and it's all about voter suppression, because in the last midterm elections, the presidential and the midterm 2018 and 2020, these local and state governments, they pushed voter registration, they pushed early voting, they pushed absentee voting. They made the counties made it easier to vote. If you were elderly, the machine can come out to you. You know, some places had drive-through voting, and so they actually expanded voting rights. But it hurt the states. It hurt who became the president. So now, even my state, whose electoral votes actually went to Trump, and I'm trying to figure out, well, what are you trying to do with the? You doing more voter suppression for what? And I'm thinking like, oh, you're concerned that this state might flip blue, because there were some counties that were purple
and that
not red.
That could affect your governor's race next go around.
Yes.
Not only the Senate, but the governor and local politics. If they don't do some voters, if they don't start suppressing votes, you can see a lot of people that have normally been voting red, has normally been winning, gonna flip to blue.
Right. And well, I mean, at the end of the day, that's actually what all of this is about, because if you want to tell the truth, the Republican Party has always been able to win the presidency because of the Electoral College. And if we're going to be technical about it, it's always the minority that ends up trying to force the majority into the confines of what they want us to do. Because let's be frank, the Republican Party is actually the minority. They're not the majority of Americans. Okay, even though we have a two-party system, we need to make sure we actually have more than a two-party system, but that's it. For the most part, it's a two-party system.
Yeah.
But you know, if we understand what's going on here, we can literally see that it is all about the suppression of the ethnic vote, and that just doesn't include Black people. We need to expand that to understanding. That includes Asian people, that includes Hispanic people, that includes people who are not really from a European descent. And so we have to understand that and put it into proper context.
Yeah, they are trying to suppress anything that ain't old Republican and white male from getting out there.
And speaking of another white male, like you said, Marcellus, who are afraid of the changing, and someone made a really good point. They're like, was Kamala Harris, Vice President Harris, and her husband in their official vice president residence, which is at the Naval Observatory? No, they're not. They're actually still in the Blair House, which is across the street from the White House, and they're going to be there for some time, because Pence did not keep up with renovations and cleaning and everything else before he left. And so my only question is, like you said, how is he able to get so close? Because I was reading some more information, and they said that a family member had told the local police that they were concerned about things that he had been saying about the government. And then they were able to connect, I guess, that law enforcement with the Secret Service. I guess they went looking for him, and that's where they found him. But my thing is this: were y'all following him this whole time? Because how did he get on the plane? Did he drive there?
He probably did.
Because from Texas to Washington, D.C.?
That's a ride. From West Texas to there, yeah, that's a good little ride. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. With that much ammunition, he had to have driven, unless he bought ammunition when he got where he was going. But I don't know the laws where he is. But I know when I flew home to visit my parents, I flew with my firearm. You just have to check the gun and the ammunition under the plane. You can't have it in the plane. It can be underneath the plane. So, but with what they say they arrested him with, it's no way he put all of that on the plane. Because that would have been a TSA red flag right there. So he probably drove. I'm going to say he drove because they found all this stuff in a car, which doesn't mean anything because he could have rented a car. But I'm gonna take an educated guess that he drove with that much with that large of an arsenal that they say he had. Because he had lots of rounds of ammunition, 30-round clips like what I have. So,
yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. Not to cut you off there, I just don't think that anybody could bring up that amount of ammunition and stuff like that just any other way. You're gonna have to drive. Yeah, you're gonna have to drive.
Or could he have flown from Texas to whatever the nearest West Virginia, met up with his group or whoever,
it could very well done
and
that.
picked up the gun and ammo and drove the rest of the way? Because I'm just like,
well, it could have been.
How did you get? You know. And then
well, you got to
say,
keep.
go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, what I was gonna say is he's a white male, so it's not like he's gonna be looked at as being suspicious. So he could have a bomb in his car. Nobody's gonna stop him and pull him over and ask him any questions. We could have two pixie sticks and a push-up, ice cream push-up, and we're gonna get pulled over. I'm just saying.
Yeah. That's why whenever I've been stopped, they pull up to the car, I have my license, proof of insurance, and my pistol permit. And they're like, "Where's the gun?" I'm like, "Right here in my lap." They look over and they're, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
Why you get? They're like, "Why you got it in your lap?" I said, "Protection." I said, "I'm riding around the street. I'm an old man. I don't dealing with these people hopped up on drugs. I'm trying to defend myself."
That's true.
Trebert, Greno, a person could actually drive from Texas to DC in a day, believe it or not. But more than likely, he probably stopped somewhere and got some sleep in a hotel or a truck stop. But you can drive through. Because when I was a truck driver, we would drive sometimes from Atlanta to Wisconsin, pick up some cheese, and then turn around and go back and take the cheese down to Florida, pick up some fruit in Florida, and bring it back to Atlanta. So, but we were two people.
But didn't you tell Rashad earlier this week about something about a trip? How long it would take to get from one point to another point? I remember because you guys were talking about that. That was a long drive. Yeah,
because from Ohio, from Cleveland to Daytona Beach, where my son is, it took me 21 hours. When I took him to school for the first time down there. So that's why I said, unless he graduating every semester when he come on, he putting that stuff in mini storage. I am not driving that far unless I just have to. But this next time I may drive. It just depends. But to just pick him up in May.
Hello, everybody. We got about 60 of you guys in here. If y'all could do me the awesome favor of hitting the like button, please. We've got about 60 people here, and we only have about 26 likes. If I could get at least 10 or 15 of you guys to hit the like button. If you hit the X on your chat screen, it'll let you come right back, and you could just hit the like button and come back in. Kim?
Okay. I noticed that both of us, all three of us actually, had a similar topic, the rise of rise of Asian hate crimes or anti-hate. And so and one of those things I think is a really prime example of that, unfortunately, this past week I was just so horrified, was the murder of 8 people at 3 different Atlanta area massage parlors. And I since the COVID-19, there has been a rise in Asian violence because the former president kept calling COVID-19 the China flu, and everybody who thinks, oh, it's the Chinese are bringing it over, and so not all the Asian people who they think look similar to Chinese have been getting attacked. And so I've always been concerned about my friends and my college friends who are now mothers and fathers. And my students, like, okay, and like you said, when they don't come to class, like, Lord, why did they not in class? Did somebody attack them? Sick today. Then right now the media is having a hard time talking about what was the guy, the sheriff? Was he the sheriff?
Yeah.
Talking about, this man was having a bad day.
Yeah, one of the sheriffs down there in Metro Atlanta.
Why can't you call it a hate crime? It's a hate crime. 6 out of the 8 victims were Asian. He went to businesses that employed majority Asian people.
And the first 2 places where he did his shooting, I used to live walking distance from those places. I used to live right around the corner from him in Atlanta, right off Piedmont. And and it's crazy. It's on the edge of Buckhead, actually, which is the richest part of town. But he, how can I say this? How can I say this and be politically correct?
Now, you know you're wrong for that, Patsy. We'll talk about that in a minute. But go ahead, Darryl.
I ain't messing with Patsy. But,
hello, Patsy.
But see, all these Asians that are being attacked, if you notice what they all have in common, they're either women or elderly people. Like this one guy figured he could attack that 75-year-old woman, and she whooped his ass and put him in
with
the
a
hospital.
stick. With a stick.
Yes, thy rod and thy staff. And she put some on his ass, and he's in the hospital. He went to the hospital. She just got an ice pack. But see,
even though she was bloody and her face was swollen,
but his ass was whooped. He was laid out. He was laid out because she went to work. But see, they pick with people that they consider vulnerable. If you notice the people that get attacked that are black, they always pick with somebody on the street, never in the neighborhood, never in their house, always on the street, like in a public place where they walk in somewhere.
Never in a group.
Never in a group. Exactly. Because if you see 4 or 5 of us in a group, we very seldom get bothered by cops or anybody. But these idiots, they pretend they're so tough, but they're picking on women. They're picking on women and elderly people. Now, my heart goes out to the Asian community because they're getting a taste. They're getting a taste of what we've been dealing with for decades and decades, and I haven't seen the public outcry from them that we are giving for their community,
which is true. And go ahead, Kim.
I guess say the Asian people who are my friends or those who I know are woke because they're activists. They have been saying Black Lives Matter. Maybe I have not been seeing it like officially on the scene. But I forget the name of the man's name, but he actually has an incident very similar to the other Black men that have been killed by police. I think I forgot his last name is Tan. I'll remember in a minute. And basically the police, saw him walking, asked him for information, and he's like, well, why are you stopping me? And I want to say this is New York. New York cops, LA cops, they're just at the top of, issues with cops, and basically shot him and blamed it on he was not complying. Is
that a different story now you're referring to?
No, this was in New York. I can't remember his first name. Last name was Tan.
Okay,
but he had a very similar incident compared with other Black men who are also being attacked by the police. So when you say that they're getting the taste of what we have, I think they've been getting the taste of what we have, but they just haven't had the numbers like they have now.
Correct.
They got the numbers are increasing. And it's like,
according to the latest data, Asian hate crimes, and I think I put that in the Google Doc that when I updated my topics. I don't know if I did or not, but hate crimes against Asians are up 147%. 147. So when we think about this, there's so many dynamics to this, Darryl, that I want to flush out of here if we can, and we just want to walk through this here with a little bit more information. First of all, when we talk about Asians not necessarily coming out with an outcry about Black Lives Matter or Black issues or things of that nature, unfortunately, it has been my experience that because of the treatment of Black people in this country, a lot of Asian people, when it comes to filling out applications or defining themselves in the culture, they check the white box. A lot of Asians don't even check another box. They literally check. They don't check other. They check the white box. And there is a conscious understanding in this country that anything that does not come from a European place is somewhat going to be ostracized, criticized, and is going to be put in a situation to where it's going to be unfavorable. And when you look at the Asian culture in general, is not normally known for being the most, the most militant group of people, right? They're not known to be as militant. But when it comes to our rights and our situations, normally we are known to be a little bit more militant as that relates. Now, I can talk about this from another aspect because I have Asian roommates. I live in an Asian community.
Right.
And when you have a roommate that says to you, he's afraid to go outside because he's afraid he's going to be attacked or something's going to happen to him. And the only place he goes is his mother's home. And then he comes back home. You know, it adds a different perspective. And I have been educating them, my Asian roommates, about some of the things in media and in culture, and highlighting some things, even right down to the commercials that come on television when we're watching TV. I point out to them how the culture is shaping how to look at non-European individuals. I'll give you a perfect example. There is a commercial that is running right now. Now, most of you are probably not going to think about this, but there's a commercial that's running right now. It's an Asian older man and an older lady, and there's an Asian man sitting on a washing machine or dryer. And his parents come to him and said, it's time for you to move out, because in the mindset of Caucasian European Americans, Asian people stay at home forever. That's in their mindset. That's what they believe. They don't understand the culture. So they just think Asian people stay at home and you know, just don't ever leave. So in this commercial, they have him sitting on a washing machine downstairs in the basement. And then something happens to where he then gets put in a fireman's suit, and then he gets lifted out of the roof of the home until he's like standing tall with this fireman's suit on. And I pointed that out to them, the commercial. I said, you guys understand, even the commercials shape the psyche of the people in the country. I said, and you guys have to watch how the narratives are being explained about your culture and about certain things about Asian people. And because they never given any thought to this stuff. You know what I'm saying? You don't see Asian movie stars, right? If I said somebody of Asian descent, most of you would be like, well, Jackie Chan. That's as far as y'all know, Jackie Chan. You know, and Bruce Lee.
That's it.
Or Aquafina. And that's because she uses a black dialect when she talks.
Okay, so I mean, those are the types of examples. And I also showed them something as it related to this case here. The gentleman, when he shot up, and I think I talked to you guys about this offline, when he shot up the massage parlor, the first thing the media did was they said that the people were sex workers. And I told my friend, I said, now watch what they're about to do. They're about to turn the victims into criminals. I said, because the only way that they can make or lessen the blow of the fact that this white man has gone out here and murdered these people is they have to flip the script and turn it on the people who have actually been victimized. Now, black people, we have seen this over and over and over again. When something happens to us, the first thing they want to talk about is the fact that, well, maybe you smoked weed in high school, or you did something in your juvenile years. So they always flip the script on you. And I showed my Asian roommates, I said, now watch what they're about to do. They're going to criminalize this massage parlor. Like, everybody in there is getting a tug and rub. Everybody is going there for a tug and rub. And we were able to see it. It actually unfolded. So much so that my roommate, while we were watching it on CNN, they started laughing. They were like, oh my God, they are really doing it. I'm like, if you pay attention to this stuff, you can literally see it right before your eyes.
That's what they're doing. They try, and then the mayor shot it down like, nope, we've never had a complaint. They run a reputable business. This was a hate crime because that guy told me, oh, he's having a bad day. Bad day, my ass. But they got the death penalty for his bad day. Where he's going, they got the death penalty. That'll help him with all his bad days.
And speak. Go ahead.
Go ahead. And then they're gonna try to pay it and like, oh, he had a sex addiction. Okay, well, where he's going, they'll take care of that before they give him that needle.
Well, here's the other thing. Go ahead, Kim.
So basically, you by calling them sex workers, we know how America thinks about sex workers.
Mm-hmm.
You're saying that he has an Asian fetish, and so he went there.
Oh, that was the other thing. I'm glad you mentioned that. I need to write
that means he is racist, right?
Bingo.
Okay, it's a hate crime.
Bingo.
Oh, okay.
All right.
That's one thing, but let me just say this. There were let me get the number right, because there were 7 people killed totally, right? Or 8. How many people total?
8.
Okay.
8.
So 6 of those people were Asian.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The other 2 people were white. Okay.
One of them was Latino.
I thought so, but they said no. Yesterday when I looked it up, they said and if they were, that must have been the Latino. He must have been a husband of the white lady, because the white lady, I thought, well, regardless, the last 2 non-Asian, right? So it was 6 Asians and then the other 2 people that passed away. Now, Kim brings up an interesting point that I wanted to mention, and I'm glad you bring that up, Kim, because in this news reporting, they talked about the over-sexualizing of Asian women. Now, this is something that I was unfamiliar with, and I think that I brought this up to you guys. I don't know if I brought it up to you or just my roommates, but I had really never heard of this whole idea of over-sexualizing Asian women. But I guess there is some sort of fetish or things that people have as it relates to Asian women. And so they wanted to put this on in this particular case as well, which I just find atrocious. Because another thing that I don't like about this, when anytime a white person is found in this type of situation, they always want to give them some sort of condition as to the reasoning why they behaved in such a barbaric manner. Even you got affluenza, you got an Asian sex fetish. I mean, they just always have to give you some sort of diagnosis, and it just, to me, it just seems, because if you look at the cases that happen with African Americans and other people, they don't give you no diagnosis. They just say you was a criminal, you were a thug, you were this and you were that. They never do that to other people. Or is it just me? Am I just seeing it that way?
They always got, if they're white, it's always a medical reason. Because even now, they've been talking about the man who showed up to the vice president's residence. Oh, he was a Vietnam veteran. He had been going to the hospital. His family contacted him because they were disturbed by his behavior. So, you're getting your defense ready that he's crazy. Well, not that he's racist.
They got somewhere for him too.
Just find it interesting.
Yeah. Mia, you go out there and do something. We'll never see the light of day again. They get to go lay down and rest and do arts and crafts while me and you lock down 23 out of 24. Oh, we get the long ride.
Well, the fact of the matter is, if you're over sexualizing any group of people, that says something more or less about you than it does that group of people.
Exactly.
So I honestly didn't even have a point of reference for this stuff. I was just simply like, I don't understand. I just didn't understand. So I had to ask my roommates, and yeah, it's very interesting. I just find that very, very interesting.
I think it was someone in the comments made a very good point, which a number of my Asian friends, especially in college, have referenced. If you go back to the movie Full Metal Jacket, that's where the idea started. Probably before then, even in Korean War, Vietnam War, that Asian women were over-sexualized.
A lot of them were used as prostitutes, but because they were prostituting, because you were fighting a war in their country. If the war had been fought here, there'd be hookers here servicing the foreign.
Exactly.
So it's just, but you notice when they went to the Persian Gulf, they didn't over-sexualize those Arab women. They did it to the Asian ones.
Different country. You can't date.
Right, but that's my point. They play to the stereotype. They've always, even back with World War II, they stereotyped the Japanese. They made you look at the cartoons I grew up watching. They made fun of how Asian people look. A lot of the cartoons that I used to watch, you can't watch them anymore because they're racially offensive. And because a lot of them had negative depictions of Asian people in them. Wow. Yeah, that's where Me So Horny, the sample from the 2 Live Crew, that's where it came from. That clip of the movie.
The Me So Horny.
Yeah. Love You a Long Time. Yeah.
Yeah, from Full Metal Jacket, Luke and the 2 Live Crew, they sampled that little part of the movie into their song Me So Horny. So that's where it comes from.
Wow.
It's all in how, because if you look in movies and how the media portrays different people that are not white. Any movie that there's a bad guy, most of the time you see a bad guy played in a movie, and if he's European, he's going to have a British accent.
Or Russian, yeah. You're right there.
A Russian or a British accent. Never just a regular, very seldom will you see just a regular old run-of-the-mill American English-speaking villain. Most of the time, if they can, they're going to put that villain as having a British accent.
Very true. And a lot of times, if I'm not mistaken, they used to have a department in the government where if you made a movie that you had to submit that movie to the government so that the government could look at it, and they would look at it and so that they can sort of shape the minds or the culture. And that's one of the reasons why you have that, is because you used to have to submit those movies to the government. And a lot of people are not aware of that, because that's how they shape the minds of people, as it relates to Russians, et cetera, et cetera. Now, we all know Putin is a bad guy, but the Russian people themselves are not bad people. But when you talk to the average American, they're going to have something against Russian people, and because of the way that the culture has been shaped, and that's what's so unfortunate. And it's the same thing about Black people in this country. The reason why so many white folks are scared of us, like I've been having this conversation with my roommates because they can't understand it. They're like, because he asked me one day, he said, "Well, why did they have so much protection for the Black Lives Matter march and it was peaceful? But then when these jokers showed up at the Capitol, there was nothing." And I, right. And I told him, I said, well, because there is a natural fear of Black people. White people have a natural fear of us. And this is the thing that we don't really discuss and we don't really talk about. But some white people have a natural fear of us, and it's because they've been conditioned to fear us. They really have been conditioned to fear us, because all of us are criminals. We all are on welfare. We all have too many children that we don't take care of. We're over-sexualized mandingo, right? All we want to do is swing from chandeliers and have sex, right? So that's the entire, hey, Mina, the whole way that we're looked at. So, I mean, it is what it is. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome Mina C. She finally made it. She was on the road. Hey. Did you get you did you pour you a drink, or you just sat down and turned on the computer?
I just sat on down.
Well, you got time. You may as well get yourself something to drink if you need to, because you got time.
Okay, well, I'm getting ready to turn my camera. No, I'm not. Is it all right if I just go get the drink, come back?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Can you guys hear me clearly?
Yes.
Yeah, we can.
Okay. Okay, I'm sorry.
All right. What was that last thing?
While she's gone, can you mute her till she comes back? So in case there's any background noise or sound, just mute her till she comes back.
All right. And this goes back to what I said on my last Tuesday night live that I had. The David and Tamala man went on vacation in Cancun. And while they were on a boat, a white man who was also visiting from the United States asked David Mann, what did he do for a living? Are you a drug dealer?
Oh, well, I'm familiar with those types of questions.
And I'm just like, and David Mann turned the camera around. He's like, this is the man right here. And his friends were so upset. And he said, I can't believe this man told me that. It's like, you think I'm a drug dealer because I'm here with my wife on this boat in Cancun?
Yes. Because go ahead, Darryl. No, you go ahead.
I can answer stuff like that. I got it all the time. Before I lost all the weight,
too.
When I was in college, up until I got about my mid-20s, oh, you're very tall. Do you play basketball or football? I used to get that all the time. White people would ask me, I'm like, no. And I would intentionally tell them no, even though I was at school on a football scholarship. And I said, no, actually, I'm in college on an academic scholarship, which I was. It wasn't a lie. But the assumption was because I was big and tall that I played sports, not that I had intellect, not that I was smart. So I would feed into it. I said, no. I said, no. I would say, actually, I'm in school majoring in pre-law. And they would look at me.
Listen here.
Like it was a shock.
I get this all the time because a lot of places I go, I am the only black face there. A couple of years ago, there's a friend of mine. He owns a nonprofit here that I actually sit on the board of, right? So he was actually getting his master's degree in San Diego. So we had decided to hold on because I get distracted by the comments. What are we doing? Are we reading this? Roland Martin says when he travels wearing his college gear, white people ask him, is he, oh, right, got you. Okay, so let me say this. So I am, Kim, can you please take that down? Because I get distracted. Thank you. So I'm in Coronado Island. If anybody who's not familiar with Coronado Island, Coronado Island is a very exclusive island. Like it's an island. And we were staying at this place because my friend was getting his master's degree. He was graduating and they were giving him, he's graduating, getting his master's. So we're sitting on Coronado Island. It costs like $35, $40 a day, Darryl, just to park there, right? Just to park. We're not even going to talk about the hotel. So we're sitting at the bar one night. You guys know I have a million stories. So we're sitting at the bar. We're drinking this wine. And the bartender turns and asks me, well, what is Compton like? Compton, California. He asked me what was Compton like. And when it happened to me, I just started laughing because at first I was like, the nerve of this man to even assume that I would know something about Compton, which I do not. So I was like busting up. And my friend who actually has who has a master's degree, he's actually familiar with that area, but he doesn't live there now. He's been away from there since his childhood, right? So we just started laughing. And I look at the man and I call him over and I go, sir, why would you ask me that question? You didn't ask anybody else at this bar the question. Now, mind you, we're the only two black people that are sitting at this bar, right? And I am enjoying me a good port wine, right? Enjoying me a good port. And I'm sitting here going, what is with this dude? And he's looking, oh, well, no reason, da-da-da. And so I'm looking at my friend and I'm like, dude, I said, we just experienced a racial moment, right? And he started laughing too because both of us are just like so caught off guard by this question. But this is something that is common amongst when you're in places and spaces that we are not normally in. It happens all the time. All the time.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, y'all. I'm just making sure because I don't hear nothing but y'all. These earphones is everything. Thank you, Mr. Moore. I
told you.
That means they're working.
Yes, y'all are so clear. Okay, I'm sorry. I just got to say this one thing. Were we talking about the Asian people?
Yes.
Yeah, the murders.
Well, I must say this, and correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like, should nobody experience any type of harm or abuse or anything because of their ethnicity. But can I say, I don't feel sorry. I don't feel bad. We've been going through this for years. Welcome to our world. Hello, come on in. I'm wrong for that. But
no, you're just giving us a difference of opinion because there are a lot of people who are like that.
Yes.
Now I get what you're saying because I've heard that from other people. So it's not a bad thing that you feel that way. I just think we as African Americans have to always remember that if another ethnic group is experiencing something like that, typically it's a circular type of situation. If ethnic people are experiencing that, sooner or later it's going to boomerang and come back out to us again anyway. So you always have to remember, if there are other people experiencing it, it's going to boomerang and come back to us as well. So just always be cognizant of that. We've been experiencing it, but it'll be more. Go ahead.
But just for that, though, you mean it's coming around a boomerang, but we deal with it every day. What's the boomerang effect about? We deal with it every day.
Go ahead. No, what I was going to say, but Mina, we don't have people walking. Well, I've not experienced this.
Right.
And maybe it is out there, but it don't make the news. But I have never had a white person come up to me and beat me in my face or punch me in my face. I've never had a white person physically attack me. They might have wanted to. Understand what I'm saying? Right, but that's just not something that I've experienced. So when it comes to this situation, I think that it's a little different in the aspect of, you're talking about a group of people who are normally not known to be very aggressive. And the reason why I think they're being attacked is because most people don't look at them as being overly aggressive, and they can easily get away with attacking them. And that's why you're getting them beating up these Asian women and beating up these folks like this, is because they know they're not normally an aggressive people.
Mm-hmm. I gotta differ with you. I'm just sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay, go ahead. You're fine. That's why we're here. It's just difference of opinion. Go right ahead.
Can I interject something?
Absolutely.
This is what Mina, you were in here earlier, and this is what Marcella said. He said there's been a surge in Asian attacks. Mm-hmm. And I was saying how, if you look at the history of Black Lives Matter, there's like one Asian man that's in that list who got attacked like other Black people. So that was not common in their community. But now it's been increased to 147%. So that means like they're getting it every week or every day.
We get it every week, every day.
And we do get it every week and every day. But this is the thing, though, you understand. The problem is white supremacy.
Right.
Okay? And then, unfortunately, what white supremacy does, it chooses to divide the people that are conquered or who are the other minorities.
Right.
And so, if you looked at 9/11 when it happened, Black people, Hispanic people been getting everything. 9/11 happened, all of a sudden, all my Middle Eastern friends, my Middle Eastern classmates, it was like, tag, y'all it this week. Y'all it for the next 4 years. But then after a while, it was like, oh, this is what the Black people have been marching and stuff about.
Right. Mm-hmm. Right.
Oh, let me look at the book to see what they did. Because
exactly.
Because they were spray painting mosques. People were getting hit. My friend used to wear like a wrap, and she stopped, and she's Black, but she's African American. She stopped wearing it because she was scared of being taken from Middle Eastern and get attacked.
Right. And to answer your question, Betty Yellick in the chat, they do beat Black folks, but the people that normally are beating Black folks have badges on, and that is normally the difference. You don't have white people. Hold on. You don't have white people primarily coming and attacking Black people and beating them in the public. That is not something that we see an overwhelming amount of stuff happening. And what were you going to say, Mina? Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like, I'm like I said, I'm not for any of it. I'm not for any of the violence. That's exactly what I'm saying. But what I'm saying, it is funny. It's funny that now all of a sudden everybody is calling attention to this. But we've been going through this. So
what happened? Okay, well, you need to define. Okay, so when you say that,
for instance, we've been getting killed. We've been getting followed through stores. Okay, we have been, you think everything that they shot, killed, discriminated against, threatened,
racial
profiling, they do it to us at the beauty supply store.
And you know, that's true. And you know why they're doing it though? They learned that from white people.
Okay, now tell me.
How can I be successful in America?
Okay, wait a minute.
And are we talking about the hierarchy? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, you go ahead, because now I'm
confused. Because this is what the thing is. And this is like, if you study, like, sorry to get deep, ethnic studies or ethnohistory. East Asians, if you look at the people who are seriously being attacked, it's East Asians. It's lighter skinned with slanted eyes. East Asians who are getting attacked right now. 9/11, it was Middle Eastern Asians who had brown skin and oval eyes. Okay. When the East Asians have always thought of themselves, and there's a hierarchy in Asia too. The East Asians are at the top of the social hierarchy, and they look down on the darker skinned Asians.
Yes, the southern ones.
They are the East Asians are the white people of Asia. So they are coming to the United States for a better life.
Okay, but hold on, Kim. Hold on.
Get their American dream. Not all of them. I'm just generalizing.
Okay, but
and they are learning the culture by making sure that they are, well, let's say in the past, assimilating into the culture. So what do they get their cues from? The white people, TV, television, and other people that they see.
Okay, now put this in the context of what she actually said.
Okay, and so
I can get a better understanding.
So when Mina is saying, like she said, she doesn't want all the problems they've been getting is bad, but she's looking at the fact that, hey, we've been having it bad this whole time. You never said a word, and now all of a sudden we're supposed to get up and be like all Asian lives or yellow lives matter.
Well, let me ask you.
You were silent on other things.
Okay, I got it.
And you participated in white supremacy by following my ass around the store and by mistreating me at the nail salon.
But not only that.
And the thing is that, and I've heard this from other teachers who have told Asian students or even have told African students, stay away from the Black people.
But
so for their own safety's sake, they are keeping to themselves, but at the same time, they are helping to reinforce white supremacy. And now what has happened is that a lot of them are getting treated like the rest of us, like the Blacks and Hispanics and the Native Americans have been treated by white supremacy. And what is happening, like all other groups have done, and especially if you look at the 1960s, they have gotten together in a group and they've gotten loud, because guess what? When Black people got together, organized, and showed everybody else to do, and when the Hispanic people did the same thing, and then when the Native Americans did the same thing, then they elected all those people to Congress. So they're now looking into history. And matter of fact, also, there are woke Asian people. They just don't. We don't know enough of them. Because even in their culture, it's about what am I doing as a part of my family and maintaining honor and respect. And so if my family says, this is who I bring home, this is who I marry, and this is the type of job that I get, they not fit us. Because it's like, if I go against that, where am I going to go?
Okay, now Kim,
can I make this last part? And I'm going to go right ahead. Be quiet. What is happening now? There are Asian members of Congress who are pushing for a anti-Asian hate legislation, which we've been calling for that. Policing reform, they should. Actors who are Asian are using their celebrity privilege to get the word out.
I'm gonna need somebody to bring me the bottom.
Okay. So I totally get what you're saying, Mina. I totally get that. I totally get that.
Okay, well, if you totally get it, can you speak on the actual point that she made? I want you to talk about the thing that she actually said.
Oh, but what Mina saying that she does.
Yes.
Mina, you say you don't care.
No. It's not that I don't care, but what I'm saying it is wrong. But I don't care. In other words, I don't feel sorry. In other words, I'm not like, oh, agents, because let me tell you this, Marcellus, there has been documentation and there are videos out there that when all this COVID first got out and was released, even though we had a herd over here, the African Americans over in Asia were getting put out of their homes. Okay, these Asians were kicking them out of restaurants, literally fighting these Black people, telling them they don't want them in Asia anymore. So real talk, and you can look it up, just Google it. So right now, I don't care. Good luck.
Right.
Good riddance.
Okay. Now here's where I have to give you some pushback. And this is the danger of blanketing an entire group of people with a mentality that may not necessarily be deserving. Because it's been done to us, and it's a dangerous thing to do that when you're blanketing a particular ethnic group of people and whopping them all together in one lump sum of people.
You're right.
Okay.
You're right.
I think in general that's dangerous, but I do understand, and this is a point that I made earlier, Mina. When most Asian people acclimate to the United States and the culture in the United States, they define themselves as being European, right? Not all Asians define themselves that way, but a lot of the ones that I have encountered have defined themselves that way. Can you let the dog in so the dog can be hushing?
How can you still got headphones in?
No, we can hear the dog.
Because you got some good headphones. It picks up everything in the background. My dog, boy.
Just let the dog in and roam around. So that you got to worry about it. Okay. Anyway, you on mute. Who muted you?
You on mute. Herself.
Oh, okay. All right. So here's the thing.
Yeah, I can't unmute her.
Here's the thing. We just don't want to blanket any group of people, and we've been on this topic for a minute, so I'm gonna let this one roll on. Okay, and I'm done with this one.
But thank you for your opinion. You don't have to.
I'm glad. I'm glad.
Bringing up something that needs to be.
There are a lot of Black people that feel the way Mina does. She's not alone in her thought process. There are a lot of people who feel that way. Period.
But I'm telling you, it's white supremacy. They are, unfortunately, for their survival sake. Like I said, East Asians, they are the white people of Asia. And if you think about this for a fact, I'm sorry, but this is a teacher in me. When the Philippines became a U.S. territory, the Filipinos came to the United States and they were like, oh, land of opportunity. They started dating white girls. The white people were like, no, you can't do that. Know why? Because the Filipinos are darker skinned.
Okay.
Some of them are brown. Right. So it's like, no, we can't, so if that's why you ever notice that you will always find a Filipino person around a Black person somewhere, college, friends, whatever, but you never see like a lot of East Asians around a lot of Black people. Y'all ever notice that? Okay, never mind.
Well, let me just stop you there, and we are going to change the subject after this comment that I make. Let's change the subject. I have friends that are Asian. I have roommates, like I told y'all, that are Asian. I live in an Asian community. My friend Marsh, Myra, Reza, all my friends who are Asian or have actually been some of the best people in the world. As far as treatment is concerned, I have never. They've just been, now we all make our racial jokes. I make racial jokes to them. They make them to me, because we have that kind of relationship.
Right.
But for the most part, if you get to know most Asian people, which most people are afraid of, and most of the time Asians stick to themselves. Like I said, they're known for being a quiet people and they just stick to themselves. But I don't think as a people, Black people need to assume or take on the mentality of, well, since they didn't speak up for us, we ain't gonna say nothing for them, because that's a dangerous place for us to be as a people. Because eventually, like I keep trying to tell you, it's like anytime you hear white people say, "Oh," they start using code language for like Mexicans, Asians, and all this stuff. It's just code language. We're familiar with it, so. Because we're so familiar with it, we just be like, well, since it ain't us, we'll let them deal with it. And I don't think that's the mentality that we as a people need to have in this country. Because if it's at their door today, it'll be back at your door tomorrow or next week. And so I just think we need to change the way we look at that as we transition to another subject, Kimberly.
Sure. Well, thank you.
All right. As we're about to transition, Darryl, you okay? You awake? I'm sorry. This is related to what we were saying about the Atlanta massage parlor murders. And you said that you had to have a talk with your son.
Yep.
Can you talk to us more about that?
Well, every parent of a black child has to have the talk.
Mm-hmm.
But especially with your son. But I have to have a double dose of it that I got to deal with because my son is part Asian. So I had to first have the talk with him about,
right,
you know, because his mother wasn't really understanding it, you know, because she's part white and Filipino. My son is half black and part Filipino and this much white. But when he go out in the street, only thing the cops see, oh, that's just a curly haired little black boy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they ain't caring nothing about the little bit of him that's white or whatever.
Right.
All they see is a curly haired black boy walking down the street. And every time he go to school and come back, I don't feel good until he back in my house. And he's less than a half a mile from the school. But I gotta sit down now. He's just turned 18 yesterday, so I gotta have the grown man version of the talk now. And I gotta add, because of what's going on right now, I gotta have the black talk as a grown man, and I got to put on a whole new layer. Okay, people are going to discriminate against you now because you're black and you're Asian. So he's got it on both ends now. So I'm really like on edge because I'm not only going to be having the talk, I got to add that other layer to the talk. Because he might be somewhere and they be like, oh, he's one of them Asian kids, or he's you know, saying some old mean stuff. He's a half breed, this, and this. And I got to deal with all that.
Well, and speaking, go ahead. And go ahead, Mina. Go ahead.
No, really quickly, because Marcellus, you know what? I'm going to just say this. You look like you have a hint of Asian in you. When I first
Everybody always says that.
Okay. Because I thought, like, it seems like an Asian because I have a niece that's Japanese and black. So y'all look similar.
Because when people see my eyes, most of the time they're always like, "Oh, are you?" No, I'm not. My mama's black, my daddy's black, and they both was full of a fifth of liquor. So, so I am fully, I'm fully black. But let me just say this, Darryl. The interesting thing about your statement is this, and I'm going to go back to this point that I made earlier. The society as a whole is trying to pretty much squash out the black male and black female family dynamic. Every commercial you see, I mean, you guys just as an exercise should count the amount of commercials that come on where it is either a black man and a European or non-black woman in those commercials. Or if you'll see a black woman with a white man and some racially ambiguous children, and you very seldom ever see now a black woman and a black man with a black family on actual television and on and that is looked at in a favorable situation. So as it relates to your son, and the reason why I mention that is the country in itself is trying to shift everybody, Darryl, into this racial ambiguousness.
Yes.
And at the same time, still trying to snuff out black males and the black male dynamic at the same time. So there's two things. There's several dynamics that are happening in our country at the same time that is quite dangerous and ultimately is going to lead to a lot of mess in the future. And I feel like they're doing this because if they beat up your racially ambiguous son, then they can say, oh, I just kicked his ass because he was doing this and that. I didn't know he was black.
Right.
I didn't know he was black. So that's going to be the excuse. I had no clue he was black.
Yeah.
Because now all the kids are looking, you don't know what they are. You're like, are you black? Are you Hispanic? Are you everybody just, you can't even tell. So this is one of those things that I think we need to really be paying attention to, and people really need to be thinking about in the future. I'm just saying.
And if you look at a family, all black family that's on TV, they're gonna be real. They're gonna be fair skinned. You very seldom gonna see a darker complexion black family on a TV show or commercial.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
There was only one that I can think of, and recently it was called the Carmichael Show. The mom, dad, both the sons were brown skinned. I was like, yay, a black family. But unfortunately, it only lasted 2 seasons because there was some
because it was dumb as hell. It was dumb as hell. That's why it was dumb as hell. See, yes, it was. You know why? Here's why. I know I'm gonna answer your question now. You want to know why I think it was dumb as hell? Look, because when you do not paint black people as intellectuals, and it's always got to be some old slapstick comedy bull jive. Most black people are not going to support that and watch that because we are tired of seeing those type of roles. Now you want to talk about breaking culture norms. When you look at Bill Cosby and the Huxtable family, you saw 2 intelligent black people. Even though he was funny and even though he made you laugh, he was educated.
He was a
exactly. And if you look at it in our society now, you have none of those roles where you're painting black people and a black couple in that light.
Can I say this really quick, Marcel?
Go right ahead.
When I want to say this, what I loved about the Cosby Show the most was that his kids were different shades of black.
Correct.
I love that. We have never, from the lightest of light with Lisa Bonet and Sandra, the sister, to the darkest of dark, which was Tipset and Rudy. So he set a lot of levels with that. Okay, I'm sorry, my son.
No, it's real true, and that's what you don't have to raise your hand. Just interject. It's fine. Just interrupt us. It's okay. But that's very true. You're absolutely correct. And I mean, you guys, Kim, name me one family on TV right now that has a black father, a black mother with black children that are professionals. Name me one family
right now.
Black excellence on Netflix.
No, I said on TV on
I don't
CBS,
know
ABC, TV. Oh, okay. Exactly.
Well, the closest one is Blackish, but then I have an issue with their title because they're called Blackish.
Boom, boom. Okay.
Hey, and you talk about Blackish, and the mother, the wife, is half white.
It's half white. Then they got mixed-ish, which is a whole nother issue I got. I'm just like, can we just be black?
Oh, yeah. I seen that, Kim. I seen that mix. I don't even want to look at that. I don't
watch. I love Black Excellence. It was on with some of the people who were in the Carmichael Show, because I love Loretta Devine. It was in Black Excellence on Netflix. Right. The only issue I had, though, you had dark-skinned grandparents. You had brown-skinned parents. And you got these little light-skinned grandchildren.
Oh,
wait a minute, where did y'all come from?
It wasn't a mixture.
It wasn't doing the Cosby Show. It was like, wait a minute.
I give you something else. You look at the Bernie Mac show. Bernie Mac was hold on, but listen, this is where they throw the wrench at us. He was successful. His wife was successful. They lived in a nice neighborhood, but he was raising the crackhead children. The children who his sister was a crackhead. They had to
which is based on his true life. Which is based on his real life.
But here's the thing. That really didn't happen in his real life. He did that as a comedy skit. His sister was not on drugs, and he did not raise crackhead kids. He made that up as a comedy skit.
But here's the thing of that. But wait a minute. But here's the thing about that. It still gave you the family dynamic. These were 2 professional people that did not have kids, and they took on.
Right.
So that's a situation that really do happen in black families.
Right, it does.
You take on your sisters or brothers' kids. Oh, the Neighborhood! I watched that. I love the Neighborhood.
I forgot the Neighborhood. That is my show. Yes. Black family.
Mix some white family neighbors. I'm sorry, Marcellus. You just got to watch it. I think of you when I watch it because you have the roommates that are different colors. That's not black. And when I see that dynamic of them trying to, like work it out, you know what I mean?
Is this on ABC, CBS, NBC? What channel?
CBS.
CBS. Okay, I'll look for it. For it.
I think you'll like it. I like it. So the did it well.
Okay, so
you about to get timed out.
It's a husband and wife dynamic with black children.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll look at that. All right.
And then it's based out of a black neighborhood who's going from lower class to middle class.
You saw Tanika. She need her ass whooped.
Yeah. Tanika is a trip. I'm so done.
I need you to put yourself in timeout.
You know what, Tanika? That's how you know you family. You family, Tanika.
Season 2.
You family. Go
to Patreon.
We are not giving no free commercials for that bull over here. So moving right along. We ain't giving him no free press. Go ahead, Kim.
I know.
Thank you for mentioning.
I know where the show is filmed at. If y'all want to know, go to my Buy Me a Coffee.
Thank you for mentioning the neighborhood. Also, House of Pain as well.
Yeah.
It's House of Pain.
Marcellus was saying, what show today, right now, running? Because
the neighborhood.
Right.
And you know the fact that we had, that shows you something. The fact that we had to think really, really hard.
Right. It was like.
And I've never heard of the neighborhood. I'm a professional actor. Now I got to go look it up.
Well, they don't do a lot of commercials on it. You might see it late night.
That's my point.
It's an all black show.
That's my point. And that's
why
it's
white people in it too, so I don't get that.
But that's why it'll probably only last about another season or so before they say, well, you know, the ratings are not what we want. You watch how they
he's correct. Darryl is 100% right. I'll give you a great example of what you're saying, Darryl.
Okay.
Girlfriends.
Yeah.
They started off with Girlfriends, and then next thing you know, it was Living Single. Let me go back. It was Living Single first, and then they introduced this whole show called Friends, and then they had another show called Girlfriends, and then they always introduce some other little show that's an offspin of our stuff. They always offshoot
Moesha, the Parkers,
They always offshoot it, and we built the WB. Black people built the CW and the WB network.
It was UPN, and it just got bought off.
You right, Kim. You right, because that's how we got CW50. And then,
like some good black shows in the 90s. Some good, all in one for one.
We were building their network. They use us to build the network,
and then they let us go.
And then once we build the network, they're done.
Because all of a sudden, y'all got to realize we ain't getting no type of warning, no type of memorandum. You just looked up one day and our shows was gone.
Living Single didn't even get to do a goodbye farewell show. They just took them off there.
Right.
Just took them off there.
And they paid the actors on Friends $1 million an episode. Now, when it comes to equal pay for us, it's always some other stuff. Now, I'll tell you a good story. I just was looking at this just a minute ago. You guys remember Mad TV? On Mad TV. The woman who was on Mad TV, the only black woman who was at the beginning of Mad TV, just did an interview not too long ago, maybe like a week or two ago, where she was saying and explaining to them one of the reasons why she left the show is they brought on some new people to the show, and she found out that they was making more money than her, and she had been there from the beginning.
She was original.
Right. And so she was like, well, wait a minute. She said, and they talked to her like it wasn't even going to be no discussion about raising her pay. So she was like, okay, well, then they don't value me. And see, Darryl, this is one of the reasons why you'll notice I'm always really big on content creators and people who are on these platforms understanding what you bring to the table. You know, because we're putting all of this content on these social media platforms and we're building these other people's platforms. And we need to always be cognizant of the fact that we want to parlay this into something for ourselves. You don't want to always keep building up other people's platforms. And then if they shut YouTube down tomorrow, where are we going to be at? And where are we going to be talking? And where the people who follow us going to be talking? Go ahead.
We're going to be on you now. We're going to go on Discord. We're going to go on Twitter.
Well, but see, here's my thing, though. But this is the point that I'm trying to make. We need to create our own you now, and we need to have our own Discord. And Kev on stage said something the other day that I was thinking about. Somebody had sent him an email, and they were asking him they said something about, oh, well, you know, I would really love this if you put this on mainstream TV or something. And Kev said, why would you come over here when I have my own platform that I have built, that all you have to do is subscribe to it so you can see all of my content, and you're going to ask me to take my time, my talents, and go over to another network and have to deal with all of that, when all you have to do is subscribe to the stuff that I've already created. Right. I've already got my own network. I don't need a network. And so Black people have to change their way of thinking. And I'm going to stop talking after this. Darryl and I was talking about this earlier today. When it comes to, what's this girl's name, Darryl, that I sent you? We were talking about the singer. What's that girl's name?
Kiki Wyatt. Kiki Wyatt.
No. Keisha Cole.
Keisha Cole.
So Keisha Cole's record label, I guess, or whatever, is dropping her or whatever, right?
They should.
Right. Okay, well, we'll get to your stuff in a second, Mina. We'll get to your stuff in a second. My thing is this, and this is the point I want to make. I don't want to talk about whether her music is trash, and that ain't the debate here. The debate is this. Black people need to get out of the mentality of going to these larger corporations and submitting their talents and their gifts and just simply trying to get a check from a larger corporation. You need to learn how to create your own platforms and create your own stream and revenue stream. Like I told Darryl today, I said, Darryl, she needs to go independent. She needs to bring all of her fans and followers and the people who like her to all of her social media outlets and create a website where she can monetize her music so the people that really love her can still support her, because we are in a different age and a different time. What would you say, Mina? What were you going to say to that?
Oh, no, I was just going to say, you know what? And I'm being real, y'all. Like, okay, I love music. I love music. Real talk. And I batted for Keisha Cole in the beginning. Because am I right, Kim? Yeah. Batted for Keisha Cole because of her brokenness, where she come from. Like, I was batting for her. But it seemed like when she got here, we forgot. I know I bought Keisha Cole tickets. I know I'm ranting, y'all. But I bought Keisha Cole tickets and they weren't cheap. And I was on the floor. And you mean to tell me you a whole hour late?
Hour and a half.
Wait a minute.
You must have not ever seen old girl from the Fugees then, because she come 3-4 hours late.
But what I want to say is they're dropping her because you know what? This versus thing she did, real talk, that showed the label that she wasn't humble and she wasn't hungry. That was a bag. They get paid to do that versus battle. And when she didn't show up, guess what? The label was like, "Oh, you think you Whitney Houston? You Shaka Khan? We dropped."
Okay.
I'm sorry, but they dropped her, and they just also because she's not doing music anymore. She's in too many of the headlines versus doing music, so her voice is shot. She done. They did the right thing. That's all I'm gonna say. They did the right thing.
They're gonna love and hip hop and get a check or something. Like you said, make your own website. I think Erykah Badu has her own website.
Yes, she does.
And charge people for it. Like,
yes, she does.
And then what did she do when she wanted to do a concert? She did it in her basement and she monetized it.
Hey.
I'm just saying.
Come on, Marcellus. You better talk that talk. She sure did. She was the first to do it, wasn't she, Marcellus?
And she did it herself.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're hearing it first. I'm going to do a A-team announcement. Marcellus Millen is now my PR representative. I'm going to, my lawyers will be contacting his lawyers to draw up the contract. So because if he can make that.
You hear this?
He can make me happy.
You hear this? What is this?
But it's true though, and Darryl and I have been talking about this today earlier, even before this conversation. We were talking about this.
She's talking about she retiring. I'm like,
it ain't no retiring. I hate when they say that too. But you ain't even made no music.
They said that so many times.
Okay, but here's why they have to say that. They can't come out. They can't come out and tell you guys that they're the whore on the music on the label, and the only way that they can make money is they have to put themselves out there and throw out their digital leg or their vocal cords in order for them to get a check. She has to retire because the industry has changed. she's like an old hoe on the host roll. You understand what I'm saying? When the new hoes show up, people gonna be pulling over for them. You understand what I'm saying? And they're gonna be paying the fresh hoes more attention than they are these old hoes.
You better say it.
And to Keisha Cole is an old hoe at this time. She ain't a new hoe, she an old hoe. So they like, okay, we got to get rid of you.
Yeah.
And but see, the other thing too, Darryl, like Mina C just said, Keisha Cole did not have the kind of work ethic that
she didn't.
Gladys Knight, Shaka Khan, Patti LaBelle, these people in the beginning of their career stayed on the road like 200, 300 days out of the year. So they built their careers and their following. And these people don't do that.
No, they don't.
They don't do that.
It's a shame. It's a shame. She's a waste of talent. She's a waste of talent.
Okay, Kim.
The next thing is what Darryl had put. Darryl, you put it on there.
I don't have it in front of me.
You said about the toddler who got killed on the treadmill or something like that.
Oh yeah. Now this is gonna be a racial thing.
Okay.
Uh-oh, let me sit back. Oh Lord.
When black kids get hurt or killed, there's no public outcry. Oh, the child got hurt or child got killed. Whenever I see stories like this, I already know that it's a white kid that got killed or hurt. Huh? All of a sudden, the Peloton, some kid got killed on the damn treadmill because the parent wasn't monitoring the child. Mm-hmm. Now, see, it threw me back to a story when I lived in Atlanta. There was this elementary school, and the crossing guard would cross the kids across this busy highway all the time. They didn't get hurt. Nobody got killed or anything. Then one day, little Timmy or whatever decides he's going to take off and run across the street, and he got knocked about 20 feet up in the air. Next thing I know, there was a public outcry. You know what they did? The city and the county got together and took funds, and they built a bridge from the school to the other side of the highway so that these kids went and fired the crossing guard after the crossing guard got sued by the family. They built a bridge that cost $15 million to build for them kids to go up some steps, over a bridge, down the steps to the other side, and take their silly ass home. I ain't never had to cross no bridge. I knew to stand my ass there until the crossing guard came out with that sign and blew that whistle and stopped the car. Mm-hmm. And they did like this: bring your simple ass on across the street. Okay, take your ass up on the other side. Go on home. I'll see you tomorrow. Right. They ain't built no bridge for me, and then they'll have no warning. Oh my God, a child got killed. We got to do a recall and issue a warning.
That's crazy.
I'm like,
that's crazy.
Common sense. You have a device in your house. Nobody ever told me, Darryl, don't stick the scissors in the socket. You'll get killed. Now they making these little plugs talking about child-proofing your house. Yeah, we didn't have that shit. We didn't have that shit. Oh, a child under the age of such and such got to be in a child seat. No, Darryl, look over here. Darryl, sit your ass down.
Right.
My parents said, oh, when we ain't here, don't you answer the door. If you answer that door and it ain't me, I'm fucking you up when I get home. And I find out, I wouldn't even answer the phone because they told her, you don't answer that phone. Mm-mm. You don't answer the phone or the door, or you're going to get your ass whooped when I get home. We didn't need all these precautions. We just sat our ass down. We didn't touch grown folks stuff. My daddy never locked. Oh, you got to have childproof locks on your guns, or your kid could get a firearm and kill themselves. My daddy didn't have to do that. He was like, Darryl, if you touch this gun, I'm going to do something to you. Right. My dad could set a loaded gun on the coffee table. My dad has actually left a shotgun laying on the coffee table. And my friend came to my house to visit. I said, don't you touch that gun. Oh, let's look at it. No. Because my dad is going to whoop my ass if one of us touches the gun. I'm going to get my ass whooped. He ain't going to bother you. That was called discipline. Mm-hmm. People talking about, oh, you need it. When I bought my gun, you need a child lock. No, I don't need no child lock. Suppose somebody break into my house. I got to fumble for a key in the middle of the night to unlock my gun box. I don't need no gun box. Don't touch my gun. If you do, it's going to be a problem. Don't let your child on the treadmill. Your child will still be here.
And you know what the funny thing about that is? I have a treadmill in my basement. And neither one of my kids, I have a 7-year-old and a 17-year-old, and neither one of my children even get on the treadmill. And when my son wants to get in the treadmill, he lets me know he's getting on the treadmill. It's not he just go down there and get on the treadmill, because any freak accident could happen on the treadmill. So I want to know. So I'm just saying, I kind of feel that. You know, but your kids know that if they do something they ain't got no business doing in that house, mama will fold their ass up. Allegedly.
Okay, you say it allegedly. I'm gonna say it definitely. And I got grown kids. And Roxanne made a joke earlier today when I gave my son his first shot of liquor. She said they gonna start drinking your liquor. I said, no, they not.
Yes, they is. I drank my parents' liquor. Are you crazy?
Look here.
What?
Ask my children about their daddy. And
they won't be drinking Daryl stuff. I don't believe they will. And if they do drink Daryl, no. If they do,
they could probably email me, Miss Kim, we drunk Daddy's liquor. Can you give us cash app so we can go buy some? That's not what they're gonna do.
No.
Because they're gonna be scared. If they drunk their daddy's liquor, they fear for their life.
My kids know that. My kids know their daddy is crazy. I got no problem.
They will do what my sister and I did when we would drink stuff in the house that we weren't supposed to do.
Come on, Marcellus.
They will drink it and they will fill it up with water, thinking that's going to protect them.
Come on, Marcellus.
And shake it up like that's gonna do. But Daryl gonna recognize it, and all we gonna hear is from Daryl is these booger woogers done drink up my shit, and then next thing you know, they gonna be in a whole bunch of trouble. That's what we gonna hear.
Crazy.
My cigars, my liquor, my camera equipment, my guns. You can have free reign of the rest of the house, but them things you don't bother.
Well, y'all got to keep in mind too. These aren't the same parents as we were being raised. These are children raising children. Keep that in mind. It's not the same. Go ahead, Marcel.
But I have a different perspective. Let's go here for a second. Y'all know I'm a critical thinker.
Yeah.
Okay. How does a child die on a treadmill? Now, how treadmills work? Typically, you have to turn on the treadmill. A small child normally would have to stand at the front of the treadmill, push the buttons onward, and be able to set the speed of the treadmill in order for the treadmill to take off and to go. And then if the child is too slow for the treadmill, normally it would shoot their ass to the other side of the room if it's going too fast. So my question is, because I didn't read the article, how did this child die? Did the treadmill fall on top of the child? Or what was the case? Did the child suffocate? How does a child die from a treadmill?
If, like you said, if that thing take off and it go fast, because I've had a treadmill throw my ass off. And that's
what he's saying. That's
before I lost the weight. So that child probably got thrown across the room and either broke their neck or something.
No. That's not what happened. Marcellus just said that. He said it's been known to do that. But the baby died on the treadmill. So he didn't get thrusted across the room. He died on the treadmill. So I don't know.
How do you die on a
he died on
the only way I could think that a child could die on a treadmill, and forgive me, Lord, if I seem to be insensitive at this moment. Just forgive me. But the only way that a child could die on a treadmill is if the child rose to the end of the treadmill and some kind of way their head get lodged at the end of the treadmill and the treadmill keeps turning and spinning and spinning. But then I would think the child would just be sanded down. They wouldn't necessarily suffocate or die. They would just be sanded, really get a really good burn, but I don't think that they would actually die. So the only thing here that I'm thinking is parental neglect at this point. I'm thinking that the parents neglected this child so to the point to where this child could get on a treadmill and have a child to be folded up, burned up, or shot. Let's just use all the scenarios. Shot across the room, or whatever happened to this child. This is parental neglect.
Could have been a head trauma from falling. a snap in the neck, a sudden fall, and pop.
It could be anything. But keep in mind, the Peloton isn't like your normal treadmill. It's made totally different.
Correct.
It's a smaller bike. So think about it. As a human, being on the Peloton, we'll be all right. But think about it's the height of the kid.
Yeah, but see, Peloton doesn't just make bikes; they make treadmills as well.
Right, they make treadmills as well.
Stair steppers, all that. That child got killed on the treadmill.
Okay,
I don't even know how that could be.
No. Listen. No. It wasn't one of their old treadmills. This is a newer treadmill. This is the newer Peloton. This one is a lot smaller, a lot sleeker.
Okay, well, I'll give you that. Okay, but I'll give you that. Well, see, that even adds a different scenario to it as well. Because if it's smaller, if it's sleeker, that means it's not as heavy as the old ones. Which gives a whole different scenario to this entire situation. And since we don't have more information on it, I'm just going to leave this alone. I'm going to try to pull up the topics, Darryl, because we've lost our host. Let me see. Let me see what I got to pull it up. Just give me a minute. I'll pull up the topics here in a second. But if it's a smaller treadmill, then obviously there should not have been.
There's wider arm rails. There's wider rails. So what I'm thinking could have happened was the little boy was hanging on the rail, right, swinging, and because it's a sleeker model, it's not as heavy. That it may have failed. You get what I'm saying? You know how they swing.
So he yeah. But here's my thing. I see this in the grocery store. I see this all over places. Yeah. If your child is swinging on grocery carts and swinging on treadmills, again, that's parental neglect. And you're stupid. And God has a way of taking care of dummies. And unfortunately, the child has to be the child of a dummy. And now the child is somewhere, having to greet St. Peter and be at the pearly gates. And they have to deal with him as far as that's concerned. It is just so sad that situation has happened and transpired. But that's all I got to say about this.
All right. Okay. I'm just saying, stop being punk ass parents. Be real parents out here. Because there was a time that if it got ever too quiet, my mom, listen. What you doing? She bust the door open. Why you quiet?
Exactly. Because children make noise.
Yes. And I do the same thing, guys, especially with my 7-year-old. She too quiet. Honey, I'm kicking the doors. What you doing? And she be like, "Mom, you scare me. I need to know why you."
Well, I mean, whatever happened to play with this in front of me while I sit here and read a newspaper, and so I can keep you within my eyesight. It's the same. It's the same thing with parents. Well, I want to go outside. Well, my mother knew when I asked to go outside as a young child, she used to be like, "Well, that means we have to go outside." So my mother would bring her chair and she would sit outside while I was running around in the yard or I was running around the back of the house. And if she couldn't see me for too long, she would yell my name, meaning bring yourself so I can see you. And that's how we were raised. But unfortunately, these kids are being raised by video games and dumb parents. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. But remember, your mama had that 100-foot cord to that phone where she could walk it out to the middle of the street. Remember what I'm
saying? Absolutely.
You don't get your butt back down.
That is very true. Black people had them long phone cords. That's very true.
Or if you were in the South, if you were in the South, your voice just carries down.
I swear, my grandmother's cord could go at least 2 blocks. Okay. My grandmother's cord, that thing could go at least 2 blocks.
I know. Yes. There you go, legit doctor. Be an eye in earshot. Yes, sir.
Hey, my mama didn't play it. She point up at that light. So if that light come on before you in this house, not in the yard, you in the house with your bike in the garage.
We had to be on the porch. We had to be in front of the house or on the porch.
Had to be on the porch. I had to be on the porch.
I had to be on the porch. I had to be in the house.
We was on the porch, especially in the summertime. In the summertime, the porch, because back then
y'all were lucky. I had to have my black ass in the house.
and the gauge was the street lights. So and see, here's the thing: the street lights sometimes came on before the sun went down. So you would sometimes be in a race to get to the porch before it actually even turned dark.
Hey, we had one person that we always assigned to keep a track of. We watching the street light. We always had one kid, the one that was always kind of
full legal name.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Be like, look, you watch the street light. If it start flickering, everybody scatter.
Yes, that flicker, that was your last warning. Like, you need to book it. When that flicker happened,
and I was on the porch. Look, I was on the porch and couldn't breathe. We panting. I made it. Oh Lord, I made it.
Yeah. No ass whippings tonight. Oh, I'm here. I'm here.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Yes.
Hey, I remember one time my mama locked the door and she forgot. I was beating the hell on that door. I was like, I'm here. She couldn't stop laughing. She said, well, yeah, you here. I said, you locked the door. I'm here.
Right. But that just show her that you respect her that much.
Yeah.
You be banging on that door like that. Like, hey.
I couldn't use the key because she had locked the screen door. I had no key for that.
See?
I was beating like hell on that door. I was like,
Yes. Okay. So that's where our village is missing in. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, your mom and daddy could be at work. The neighbor could whoop you. Your aunties and uncles would come and whoop you. Then, Lord forbid, your daddy and your mama just got off the job and they got to whoop you. They got 3 whoopings in one day.
Everybody tearing your ass up. You like, damn, I hate everybody grown.
Right. You couldn't do nothing in my neighborhood. People went to school with everybody. We missing that village.
Nah, the really people, they boy, you know better than that. Get to their house. They run you home.
And call your mama. Why did they always have your parents' work number? My son is on my line. Why they had the job number? They didn't call your mama house number. They called the job.
Oh, Kim, are you leaving us again? Hello? I need to move on to another subject. Thank you so much. Would you like some dip? Would you like some dip with your chip?
Okay. She was like, I wish I need a dip. Sorry, I had to go get some chips. So I'm trying to finish the last bit. I'm sorry.
No, that's
but I've never had people in the neighborhood wanting to whoop me. It was just but then again, in my neighborhood, I had my real biological aunties. So I could get a whooping by them and then get home and get a whooping, but not no neighbor.
Girl, her neighbors have permission because they went to school. They grew up together. Our parents grew up, but they went to high school, middle school. So I was like,
you let one of them old people see you somewhere you ain't supposed to be. Get home. And I'm going to tell your mama before you get there, you're already crying and pedaling your bike. You know the ass will come as soon as you pull up in the driveway.
Right.
And here's the sad part.
I was taking a long way home because I knew that ass was waiting on me.
And sometimes they would follow you home, to make sure that you got there, and you knew
you was
when they got there, you was gonna be in trouble.
Yes.
If an old person had to follow you home in their car while you was on your bike, so you gonna have somebody bring you home like you a damn hoodlum. So you want to be a hoodlum? Okay, I got you. Whooping your ass all the way up into the house.
You want to be a thief, do you? All right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you want to be a thug, huh? Oh my God, I used to get
But I got in a lot of trouble because of my mouth. And Darryl and Roxanne and them know, and I've told them a million of stories about my situation, because when I was a kid, I had a mouth on me, which I still have on me to this day. So my trouble was my mouth. I didn't get in trouble for leaving. I would get in trouble for cussing the neighbors out and be like, you got a nasty house. And my mama said, I can't eat nothing from your house. That's why I got. My mama said I can't eat nothing in your house because you nasty and you got roaches.
You know what?
Y'all giving Christine PTSD.
Look at Christine. She I'm having flashbacks. She having flashbacks. Christine, get your drink. Get your drink.
Look, my mama said no. That's how I realized roaches could fly. I went over to one of my neighbor's house one time, and she opened the screen door, and them damn roaches hit me in the face. I went running home. I didn't even know roaches could fly. I say, Mama. I think the roaches done hit me in the face and stuff. And But they can fly. People who tell you that roaches can't fly, I know for a fact that roaches fly. They fly.
Man. But you know what?
I would die
because of the way we were raised. That's why we are where we are today, and we're not in jail.
Exactly.
Our parents.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
He said they flew a human.
That woman opened that screen door, and them damn roaches hit me, flew it all up in my face. I went running home because I had never experienced anything like that in my life. And I went to my mother. I was like, Mama, because see, my mother, because we lived at, and one time we was in this apartment building, and this is how, because we didn't have roaches, but my mother, and I never knew this, and see, this is how y'all know I was a child who never paid any attention to a lot of stuff, though. But my mother used to use that boric acid stuff. You'd have thought that our house was a crime scene. There was white powder everywhere, in every corner, in every nook. She had stuff everywhere, and she would be like, she's like, "Don't touch this. You can't touch this." Okay, Mama. But I went to our neighbor's house that one time, and that lady opened the door, and them roaches came flying out of that front door. I said, "Oh no!" My mama say, "Don't you ever go back over there." And but it was one of those situations.
No, my son is. Why is you calm about this? Like, oh yeah, the roaches flew all.
Let me tell you. Listen, I'm gonna tell you crazy. I got a million stories. In that same building, there was a woman who lived above us. Right? She would always get drunk, and she would always mess around and leave the water on. So one day, she left the water on, and our whole kitchen. Her whole kitchen upstairs fell into our kitchen, right? And my mother was, I'll tell you this how crazy my mama is. My mama said, okay, well, let me go get me some dust and put some dust on me. And I'm going to lay underneath this. So when the people come, we're going to get this here check. So
this is why I smoke and drink now. This is why I smoke and drink now, Lord.
My mama say, look, I'm gonna go ahead and lay under all of this rubble if she gonna pull this stunt. So my mother was so pissed off at that lady, and I think they literally got into a physical fight because my mother was mad because this woman done flooded our whole place, right? Because the water was on, but the woman would get drunk all the time, and she would fall asleep and leave her water on and leave all kind of stuff, and my mother would just be so pissed off, like. Very bad, but I got a million stories. I'm sorry, Kim. Go ahead. I digress. And these stories are funny because the funny thing about these stories is they're real. Like I have 1,000,001 stories. Like when we lived in the South. There's some places didn't have sidewalks. Darryl, in North Carolina, I don't know if you're familiar with this. We would have like pathways to get to other communities that didn't have, like you would have to go through like a woods or an area. It was all like a dirt road, and you would go through the dirt road to get to like your friend's house so that you could, play with your friend or whatever. Trust me, there's so much stuff to go on in the South. It's a mess. Mm-hmm. It's an absolute mess. Absolute mess.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised that all the stuff that we experienced in our childhood that we're not on, and y'all fixed my life. But it seems like this is gonna be the last season of that show. Darryl, can you talk to us some more about that? And this is probably gonna be related to Marcellus's topic because his two people he gonna talk about probably needs to be on Iyanla Fix Their Life. Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Darryl.
She's ran her show is coming to an end this season. I didn't even realize she had been on for 10 years. Mm-hmm.
Which means her paper is up, boy. She been on for that long, and plus she gonna be in syndication somewhere. That show gonna still be running, and she gonna be collecting a check
for a long time. Oprah looked out for her because she gonna be getting. Because Keisha Cole's sister was a big part of that show, but her foolishness. Because that's what kicked the whole thing off was Keisha Cole.
In the beginning. Mm-hmm. Yeah. In the beginning.
Because Neffy was a whole season.
Well, Oprah
Twice.
Winfrey doesn't own her network anymore. So
Right.
number one, a lot of those shows that were on there that were the foundational shows of the network are going to go away. And she doesn't really have creative control as far as I understand. So this is going to become the white version of the OWN network in a minute. And so you just watch what I tell you. Like a lot of those shows that were, you know, black centered and black focused and all of that kind of stuff, all that's going away. OWN is about to be just like BET.
Mm-hmm.
Is that why is that why Tyler Perry moved to BET Her?
Yes, and Tyler. Well, see, let me tell y'all the history of this. Actually, Tyler Perry was actually supposed to start his own network before he started working with OWN. But he actually he penned a deal with Oprah to create those shows because if you guys remember, her network was struggling in the beginning, right? And so she went and got him and that other lady to start writing shows for the OWN network because of the show. The network was floundering. And so he came and brought in all of those little black shows, and then the network took off and all of that kind of stuff. But Tyler's original plan was to create his own network. And so these partnerships that you see him with BET and OWN was to ultimately lead him to his own network. So ultimately, I think that's where Tyler is going to be going. And they should probably call it the Bad Written Network. That's what they all call it. Don't call it the Tyler Perry Network. Call it the Bad Written Network, because everything he the writing on it just sucks. The writing flat out sucks. That's why I don't watch nothing Tyler Perry does. That's why I can't watch some of these.
You know why it sucks?
I'm sure you're going to tell me. Go, Kim.
He does all the writing. He needs to hire writers. He needs to hire other writers. But he had such problems in the past because the writers are in a union. And so you have to pay them. Maybe Derek could talk more about that part. You got to pay. Okay, go ahead, Derek.
My fraternity brother was one of his writers in the beginning. When he first got started on TV, he had non-union writers. But when all the writers became members of the union, he mysteriously fired all of them and brought in a new writing team, and they were non-union. So he had to, because union writers make $250,000 an episode writing. And he wasn't about to pay that.
Exactly. And Jazzy Carrot, to answer your question, the answer is no. He does not own any part of BET.
No, he doesn't. And
BET was sold off, right? Wasn't it sold off to another white company? Viacom. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thank you, Marcellus.
I keep up with this stuff because I'm all about this kind of ownership. I'm about ownership.
Right. Yeah.
You look at this Versus thing that you were talking about a minute ago, Mina. Versus just got sold.
Darryl, why are you doing this to me? Why are you doing this to me? Because you know how I feel about this stuff.
They sold it.
I know they did.
About 3 weeks ago, they sold it.
I wasn't even gonna talk about this. And Jay-Z just sold a portion of Tidal. I think he just sold Tidal. Don't even get me started on the. Let's move on because I
know that they're selling part of their companies for a bigger stake in these more South to get more money, but it's just like, really?
If somebody comes to you and they open up a big checkbook, everybody ain't strong enough to walk away from them big paydays.
Okay, but
if you have kids, you should be strong enough to walk away from paydays because you need to leave them something and their kids something.
That's called legacy. That's called legacy.
I still think their kids probably gonna still have something.
But no.
But that's not the point.
But probably not as much as they could have if they didn't sell it. I understand what you're saying, Marcel. I do understand it.
It's just stupid. You allowing a white man to come in and infiltrate.
Now I will say this: Kylie Jenner sold her company. She don't own that company anymore.
Who cares?
But listen here. First she's white. Her family's rich. She got $1 billion. Billion with a B. Yeah. Okay. So that is a totally different scenario.
Right.
When it comes to black-owned businesses, we sell off everything. Oprah sell her network. BET gone. And there was about 5 or 6 black-owned networks for a minute, but they're fighting for the ad revenue dollars that they need in order to support their networks. Because another aspect of this is the white media is not coming to black-owned networks and spending the same amount of money that they spend with other networks in order to build those networks. And that's why you don't have a lot of these black channels in every market.
Right.
You don't have a lot of these black channels in every market. But that's a whole nother subject. And I get really pissed off about it, and I'm moving on.
What about TV One?
What
Kathy?
about
Oh God,
Kathy Hughes.
Don't Marcellus breathe.
Oh Lord, he don't like Kathy Hughes.
Breathe, because Kathy Hughes. Go ahead. Marcellus.
Okay, let me tell you something.
Kathy Hughes about one thing.
Okay,
she got rid of Roland show.
Okay. Hold on. See. Oh God, y'all bringing up so much.
See what I'm saying? Look, his head is hurting.
Okay,
it's
let's
Friday
start.
night, Kim.
I'm sorry.
Wait. Let's go here. Where we gonna start? Okay, let's go with Kathy Hughes. Okay. Darryl, before the church folk revolution kind of stopped doing our shows, a lot of people don't know we were in talks to actually make the church folk revolution televised. A lot of people don't even know that. We were actually going to be working with the Kathy Hughes situation and that TV One stuff, right? That's why when people talk about church folk revolution, they don't know what the hell we was doing behind the scenes. They don't know a clue, because if you put out good quality work and good quality stuff on a consistent basis, these folks are watching you. You don't even know who's watching you. And the news reporters and the news people would come and watch Church Folk Revolution, and they would steal our stories and go put them on their network or their news show. And TJ even went one time to one of the news stations and they interviewed him on the news station. So we had become really, really popular, right? Yes, very popular. So check this out. Kathy Hughes is one of these people where she's trying to play the game, but they don't understand. And Roland Martin can explain this better than I can. The way this system works on television is the ad revenue is where the money's at. That's where the money resides. The money resides with the ad revenue. The reason why Oprah Winfrey became so rich, Oprah Winfrey owned her network, and the deal she signed with King World, which is owned by Merv Griffin at the time that she started her network, she got a portion of all of the ads that ran when her show was on. So every time she went to commercial and there was an ad that came up, Oprah Winfrey got a portion of that money. Now, there was one time that Oprah Winfrey did a special behind the scenes where she was talking about, this was in the early days of Oprah Winfrey, so who knows what she was getting in the later days. Right. She was getting like every 90 days, like $275,000 every 90 days, just off of ad revenue. And them checks kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Wow. They did a study one time that said Oprah Winfrey at one point was like making $1 million like every 2 or 3 minutes. Like it just got enormously crazy. That's how she became so rich, right? And most people don't understand that's how it works. Kathy Hughes owns, Radio One. She also owns the Radio One network.
Right.
She makes some huge errors because of the way that she's playing the game with the white folks just to be comfortable with her money. And because that's a part of her situation, and a lot of people don't really understand that. But she could be doing more. And she could be getting more, but she's so busy trying to play the game with the white people in order for her, because that's the only way your network could really be seen, is you have to give up a portion of your network, the revenue of your network, to the white media, to these white-owned conglomerates. So she gave up a portion of TV One just so that she could get into those other markets. It's a whole big old deal on how that works.
That's crazy.
It's huge. But if you let Roland Martin explain it to you, Roland gets mad even while he talks about it.
What do you think about the Aspire network that Magic Johnson owns?
Here's the problem. I have never seen an Aspire show. I don't know anything about this because it's not in my out in California. We don't have Aspire. Yeah, we don't have Aspire. Now here's the funny thing, you all. And maybe it might be on the cable network. I don't have cable anymore, so I don't know.
Oh, okay, because I got Aspire on my package. Yeah.
Okay, but here's the deal, you guys. Sean P. Diddy Combs. It's gonna take so long to explain this. Byron Allen. Y'all know who Byron Allen?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. When Byron Allen went and sued the networks and sued the folks over having ad revenue and splitting up the dollars and allowing the TV stations to get access to that, he was fighting for P. Diddy. He was fighting for Magic. He was fighting for all of these black-owned networks. And that's what changed my view about Byron Allen and what he was doing, because I understood what he was doing. They paid him off. They gave Byron Allen some money, right? But in the midst of that, what Byron did is he outed a lot of those bigger companies, showing them that they were not actually, being fair with the markets and giving an opportunity to all of the black-owned networks, because not all of the black-owned networks were in every market. And so if you're not in every market, you can't get a market share, which means you can't increase your advertising dollars, which means you can't make more money, which means your network is eventually going to go under, or you're either going to have to sell your network. So what these companies do is they come to the black-owned networks and they say, hey, if you want more marketing revenue, sell us a percentage of ownership to your channel. This is what they did to Cathy Hughes. They said, if you want to grow bigger and you want to be in every network and every market, we want to own a part of your network. So she sells a part of her network to them just so that she can get in every market. And that is part of the problem. Now, you say she took off Roland Martin. The reason why she took off Roland Martin and BET no longer had a news division, because the most expensive part of a network is their news division. That's why we don't have a black-owned news, except for that black Republican news network that just started, I think, a year ago. That started a year ago. But we don't even have a black-owned news station. Nothing. Not one.
Why are they most expensive?
Well, they're most expensive because you have to pay to fly those people to do the interviews, to do the stories. You got to have reporters out on the beat. Right. You got to pay for hotel room. That's the most expensive part of a network. But you have to understand, that's why who owned TBS? Ted Turner. That's why Ted Turner in the beginning, when CNN first started popping off, the way that Ted Turner was able to fund CNN and the news networks he owned, he had other networks like TBS. Y'all remember Ted Turner owned all of those networks.
CNC,
all of those were CNN and all those other networks were funded by those other channels, because otherwise you can't fund a news network without having the financial backing to do it. You can't do it.
Okay.
All his other channels funded CNN.
Correct.
Wow.
All his other programs, every other show he had, all of that money from that, he put it into the news network. And he almost lost all of his money. But CNN took off because he was the only somebody doing it at the time.
Right.
Wow.
And now, Byron Allen owns the Weather Channel. I don't know if y'all know that. The Weather Channel is owned by Byron Allen. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I knew that.
And that's why I use his app every chance I get.
Okay, period.
He owns the Griot. The Griot, y'all know about the Griot? The Griot is all Byron Allen. So, I mean, and when I try to tell black people to focus in and buy black and pay attention to the stuff that we do, it's just important, now Byron Allen is right now about to sue all of the white large advertising agencies in this country. He has filed a $40 billion lawsuit because Byron done figured out the only way that he can get a chunk of the money and he can get them to acquiesce is he has to hit them with litigation. So I heard him say the other day, he has a complete law firm that is set up to sue these white conglomerates. Their entire job is to go after these conglomerates to make to give access to black-owned media and black-owned companies so that they can have access to a lot of this stuff that we didn't normally have access to. I'm just saying.
Oh my God, that would be so big. Oh my God, that would be so major. That would be so huge.
Someone asked the question, why was he someone sued him?
Who sued him? You would have to clarify.
Said, why was Byron Allen sued?
I'm sure he probably was sued, but I'm sure it was for some. You'd have to clarify your statement. I'm sure I know something about it, but I don't know exactly what lawsuit you're referring to.
Right.
Because he gets sued all the time. He's a billionaire.
He does. Right, he does.
Yeah.
Hey y'all, I really need for y'all to please click the X and then go click the like button, then click live chat and come back here.
Yeah.
3 seconds.
I need all
3
your
seconds.
I need all your likes. Right now there's 100 people in the chat, but I only have 56 likes. And we're getting and we're coming to the most juiciest part of the show because I know y'all love Mr. Pooh Bear. And I know y'all love Nutville. But I need y'all to go.
Did we cover all the stories? We ain't got to the juicy part yet. We still got stories to cover, right?
No, I said we're coming to you because you got some juicy ones too. And Nutville.
Okay.
Mina, did you have some topics that you wanted to cover before we get to Mr. Sexy Voice over there?
No, because I'm sorry.
I think Daryl's sexy voice is you, right? That ain't me.
I'm sorry.
No, that's too bad because he likes to talk into the microphone.
I'm just saying.
The honeys love it and the gummy bears.
No, okay. I'm sorry. Okay, wait a minute. Hold on. I just got.
He blinking his eyes like he don't know what's going on.
It's been a busy past few days for me.
Okay.
Daryl, we can hear you. That's loud. She can't talk over you.
I ain't saying nothing.
You keep rubbing that microphone and it's loud. We can hear it in our ears. That's why she stopped talking.
Oh, my bad.
Go ahead, Nina.
Please hit the like button, y'all. Come on. 63. Can we get 37 more? Come on now.
I'm gonna be 5 sheets till we by the end of this program. Let me start there. Let me be real and say that because I'm almost there. But I will say this: I got the assignment, and it's been a lot going on. My son is graduating, and I'm proud. And Cap and Gown is coming up. And my daughter had a virtual reading night tonight of all nights on a Friday night. So I'm sorry. And now
you're okay. No, you're okay. You're fine.
But I'm just saying, I will do better in the future. Okay, go ahead, Bishop.
That's fine.
Okay.
Moving along, let me just say, Kirk Franklin and his son Kerrion. Really quick.
Lord.
I listened to the Armand Wiggins show last night, and you know, one of the things that I just want to say, you can accuse people of all sorts of things, but you have to prove the things that you say. And I don't like when people start just saying and accusing people of stuff, because now this is starting to look like a hit job. Like they're like purposely doing things. And I don't mean any disrespect to any people that are in the LGBTQIA community. I don't mean this to be rude or anything like that. Right. But it just seems like these are some messy queens who keep doing this stuff. And it's really starting to frustrate me. You know, it's just no ray of sure do what? I'm sorry. Sure do what? I don't know what that means. Y'all talking code.
Was it the messy queens part, Ray of Sunshine, that did it for you?
I don't know.
That did it for me.
I don't care. They are messy. When Armand Wiggins is sitting up there playing this audio and he's trying to say that because Kerrion says you're going to play my molester's music, that automatically that refers to Kirk Franklin. It could have been his molester playing the instruments on the CD that he was referring to. It could be the person who was actually playing the guitar or playing the keyboard. But because it was Kirk Franklin in there, y'all are playing games, and I don't like the games that y'all are playing. And I noticed that, these little messy folks will get on there and play this stuff, and then they get to smirking and carrying on like they don't know what they're doing, and they know exactly what they're doing. And this now seems to me to look like a hit job, and I don't like what's being done. I don't like when people throw out accusations against people with no proof of what you're saying. Kerrion, you 33 years old, nigga, man up. balls. Put your balls to the wall. Do what you're gonna do. Say what you're gonna say. Be a man about it, or shut the fuck up. That's what I'd like to say about it. I'm done. I'm fucking tired of this. 33 years old and you talking in code and shit. Well, if you don't internally like my light and you can't take the shine that I have, nigga, shut up. I'm sick of this shit. Like, quit talking in code and mean what you say and say what you mean. If I've been molested, Darryl, if I got molested or something happened, I'm gonna come out and say, you know what, guys, I was molested. This person touched me. This is what it was. I don't get along with them anymore. We're trying to work through it. Who want to hear some bullshit? If you don't like my internal light and you can't foresee my future of me living in a good flowery place, nigga, shut up. Shut up. I don't want to hear that shit.
He needs medicine.
No, he needs a bar of soap and a towel and beat his thighs until he black out. That's what he needs.
And Darryl, and then this other thing, the caller called into my show the other day. They lived at a hostel. I was like, what's a hostel? Or a hostel?
Because when I went to Germany, we learned all about hostels. We had to stay away from them.
Okay, well, here's a new name for a hostel, because back in the day when I was coming up, they called it motherfuckers boarding houses. All that shit is a boarding house. That's the only fucking thing it is a boarding house.
Hold on, let me clear this up, because I was shocked that you didn't know what that was last night.
Wait a minute, hold on.
I was like, really? You don't know what
I didn't know. I know what wait a minute. I know what a motherfucking boarding house is. I don't know what a motherfucking hostel is.
If you look up,
this stands for difference.
My sons.
It's the same shit. It's the same shit. There's a bunch of communal people. You sharing everything. Y'all all in a room. Y'all all living in the same thing.
No, it's not.
You share a bathroom.
The lower
bathroom. You share the kitchen.
The lower level.
Fucking boarding house.
The lower
fucking boarding house.
I'm gonna get it out before I die.
Go ahead.
The lower level hostels are like that, but when you go the higher end, like whenever Nina's so damn retarded. When my son, when he traveled to South by Southwest Film Festival, they rent hostels. You can even rent out an entire house. My son, they rented out a house for the film festival. It was like 5 or 6 of them in this mansion. When they went to LA, they rent out a whole mansion. They rented it's like $500-600 a day. When my son shot that drip video, they were in LA. They rented a hostel for part of the scenes in the. So it's different level.
No, because it was a movie called The Hostel. And they was killing motherfuckers.
Exactly, because that's what I'm about to say. Hold on. When Armand Wiggins and them put up those pictures of what a hostel was, and then they showed the video of where Kerrion was, according to them, they have bunk beds in the same room. They have bunk beds. You're a grown man in a room with a bunk bed, and you sitting in here in a place that's called hostel. And I would be really hostile if I lived in a place that looked like that. The blinds was all fucked up. The walls was dirty. And I'm just like, this is a boarding house. This ain't nothing but a boarding house. This is a modern name for a boarding house.
And they made a movie about it too. They made a movie.
I'm just saying. Moving right along. I'm done. I don't have nothing else to say about that.
Dude, like in my ears though, my headphones is top of the line here.
Yeah, that's why he just muted himself. He just muted himself. That's why.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Thank you for that. Your opinion.
What was my other topics? Because I don't even know.
Juanita Bynum calling. What did he say? Telling off a commenter on Facebook Live.
Yeah, Juanita Bynum actually went off on somebody in her Facebook comments because they call her Jezebel. I'm going to be making a live tomorrow, posting up a video about it tomorrow, but giving some commentary. You know, these preachers cannot seem to handle it, you guys. When people come in their chat and let their ass have it, they just can't seem to take it. They lose all control. She went off on the woman and told the woman she was a nobody. She didn't have no following. I mean, she just went off on the woman. And I said, I thought you supposed to be the prophetess. You supposed to be the woman of God. She done went off on the woman and told the woman, you are nobody. I was like, well, dang, I thought we was all somebody in God's eyes. No. She done told the woman she a straight up nobody.
And see, she forgot about the song. See? I'm just a nobody trying to tell somebody about somebody who can save everybody. See, she's not right. I'm just a nobody.
But you know what? You know what that is. See, that's how God has been rebuking. You know, God will send somebody to remind you that you're doing wrong. That's why they go on like that. No, listen. We're gonna table that.
Look. Oh, look. Let me tell you something. When it comes to Juanita Bynum, when she gonna talk about I've raised somebody from the dead, what have you done?
You know
my thing is, okay, Juanita, you need to prove that you raised somebody from the dead. Yes, there is we want medical proof that somebody died, actually DOA, and the doctor can verify that you went and raised them up from the dead. Otherwise, girl, go somewhere. Is this the same thing like you showed Jesus on the wall at Jamal Bryant's church? Jesus appeared on the wall, and it's this foolishness. Oh, y'all wait till my video tomorrow. I'm gonna get in her tail for real.
But I just want to know what part of that was Jesus, because when I was looking at it, I didn't see Jesus.
Yeah, I didn't see Jesus either. I said to myself, self.
That's not
right there. Right there.
I'm just saying.
That's not the
oh
real
my God. Kim, you got to wait till he bring this up. You're going to be like, what?
Yeah, you wait till you see the video. Only reason why I didn't play the video is because the audio and her talking isn't really synced well together. But just go and subscribe and turn on your bell notifications. I'll probably get it up tomorrow by 3 o'clock in the afternoon or whenever YouTube tells me it's the best time to publish it tomorrow.
You know what? You ain't never lied. Now look at you. See how the Lord will move you? See how the Lord will move you? Right there, speak your truth.
She said the woman was she said, and then she said, if I'm a Jezebel, then I'm God's kind of Jezebel. And well, God don't have no kind of Jezebel. He don't have no kind of Jezebel.
I'm so sick of black folks. I am so sick of I'm sick of this shit.
Where you going, Nina?
I'm so sick of black folks. She do this shit every time. Every 3 to 6 months. She
do. She do. And you guys are going to hear it on my video first. I refer to Juanita Bynum. I refer to Juanita Bynum and her crew as the Bynumites. Is Juanita Bynum and the Bynumites. Because just like you have the Jebusites, the Hittites, and all of them, you got the Bynumites. And they always doing some old bullshit. So y'all wait.
I'm going to just tell y'all, I'm going to be real. I used to be a B.
You was a Bynumite?
I was a B and a Bynumite. I was because my dumb ass. Let me tell y'all, you can really get a Super Bowl. Let me just tell y'all this what I did. Because I got to laugh at it now. You laugh at your mistakes, but you learn at them. Do you know this heifer had us buy some Old Bay seasoning?
Oh, what?
Some Old Bay seasoning.
Old Bay seasoning. Yeah, I was walking around with my way. I was walking around with a pack of Old Bay seasoning in my purse.
And why did she have y'all walking around with a pack of Old Bay seasoning? Now I got to go there, y'all. I'm sorry, I got to ask now.
Because it was a season for everybody to obey God. We were supposed to fast. Listen.
No, she didn't. No, she did not.
Wait. I'm gonna tell y'all. Look, listen, I'm real with mine. Listen, I strayed away from the Lord. I knew about her song. What was it? Between the Sheets, Broken Sheets.
Right. No more sheets.
Right. What's up with sheets? So you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get back right with the Lord, and I knew her because my mom watched her. You know what I'm saying? I knew her. Well, amen. Just pray for a sister, but I learned my lesson.
I sure will. So y'all, you went after you have been Bynumite. She hit you with the mite, and you went and picked up some Old Bay seasoning.
Wait,
thinking that you was obeying God.
Don't judge me.
I ain't judging you, but I'm laughing at your ass.
Mina.
First of all, Darryl, obey is not even spelled the same way. The obey seasoning and the obeying is not even spelled the same way.
Don't do me, because scripture came with it. A whole Bible study at 3 with me. Don't play with me.
Listen here. Well,
yes,
the Bible,
I can go back to Titus. I can take you to Corinthians.
I can't. Oh Lord, I can't do it.
Mina C. Is the obey seasoning in your cabinet right now?
Hopefully she use it.
Yeah, I use it for crab boils and stuff.
Can you go get it so we can see it? Can you go get it so we can see it?
No, we don't want to see the obey seasoning.
No.
I didn't buy that big one to put in my purse. You're a crazy person. I bought like the little, and then
so you was gonna obey God a little bit. You went and got the little pack. You didn't get the
right, because I was gonna sprinkle it,
That's what I was about to ask you. Was she gonna tell you to take it out and shake it around the house? Or?
No, she didn't tell me to do that. It was just seasoning that I had in my purse. So when I would go out to dinner or to lunch or something, I'm like, oh shoot, I got this obey.
Okay.
Amen.
Obey seasoning to obey God. But see, that's why I can't stand Juanita, because Juanita be doing some stupid shit.
Yeah.
And the sad part about it is these people be literally following, and I don't blame people for following her because
she will make you believe that shit.
Well, in America, visibility denotes credibility because she's on TV and they calling her the prophetess. Right. She got these people with obey seasons in their pocketbook, so their pocketbook they smell like a bowl of spaghetti. They run around here with obey seasons. I can't.
No,
I just cannot.
But you know what I had, because you know what, I'm gonna keep it 100. Listen, I'm gonna keep it 100. I was going through some things. I called on the Lord for that last time. And I was like, okay, good Lord, I'm going to get right. So,
wow. Obey seasoning.
So that's right up there with the 888 a month.
No.
Or Reverend Ike's prayer cloths and all these miracle oils.
Wait a minute. Don't do me, because I ain't buying no prayer shawl. Now. I wasn't buying no prayer cloth, no prayer water, no prayer oil, no prayer shawl, not for that price.
But see, here's the thing, Mina C. People were buying those. She was charging $300.
Oh yeah, they were buying them.
She even went to the Home Shopping Network and was on HSN. A lot of people don't know. Juanita got so popular. She was on the Home Shopping Network selling them damn prayer kits. Right. And then God got mad and he burned the whole warehouse. Whole warehouse with them damn prayer kits.
2 times. Twice. Now I have a question, Marcellus, and legit doctor, if you still here. I see a lot of people like in the holiness churches, the apostolic coaching, all that. They have that Pompeii olive oil on in the pulpit. What's so significant about the Pompeii virgin olive oil versus any other olive oil? I'm not being funny. I don't know. Please.
I think it's the way that the olive oil has been pressed. So it's the way that the oil has been pressed from the olive. Is the reason why they use those brands of olive oil. But my family, I mean, if you believe in the power of prayer, you don't need oil. You can use Crisco grease if you want to. If you believe in the power of your prayers, I don't think it has any significance. But then they also go to the scripture where they talk about the olive press and other things like that. But that's a whole nother matter, and I ain't getting into all of that because but that's a whole nother deal.
Yeah, the reason I was wondering, because when I was in college, my freshman year roommate on the football team, his daddy was a holiness preacher, and whenever he would get sick or he was having a test we had to take the next day, he would go in his car. His dad had given him some of that Pompeii olive oil, and he would put it on his head. He said, "My daddy blessed it before I left home," and I never understood. I was like, why Pompeii oil? And then I saw a meme earlier this week that if you holiness, you know about this here, and there was a picture of that Pompeii oil. I'm like, and I really didn't get it.
But a lot of churches have that too. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. A lot of churches do have that. Go ahead.
I was gonna say a lot of churches have that because my mom was holiness with the church for her. The Baptists at my aunt's church didn't really do that much. They didn't bring out the holy oil, but Catholics have that too. They have someone, but usually they have someone to bless the water. The priest blesses the water, and then like they can anoint that with your head. So it's kind of like the same thing. Like he went to his car and got the oil and put it on his head. Yeah.
Well, between the oil and the obey seasoning and the holy water, you're gonna have a whole grocery store. You're gonna have a grocery store at your house between all of this stuff.
It's gonna be a good ass crab boil.
Right. Well, here's the thing, Darryl. Seriously, what people got to understand is those things are symbolic. Those things are symbols.
Exactly.
If you understand the scripture and you believe in the power of prayer, because see, this is what I always used to say when them dummies was buying Juanita Bynum's prayer kits. What you gonna do when you in your car and somebody about to hit you and you about to have an accident? You gonna reach in the back seat and grab your prayer kit before you can go into your prayer and to ask for God's protection? What you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? You got to carry around this prayer kit every time you got to pray and go before the presence of God. You need this shawl that you gonna put on. Like, even the same thing when they keep tying these handkerchiefs around their neck. Like these handkerchiefs have so much power and all of this foolishness with, it's just foolishness. It's foolishness.
Dumb. It's dumb.
It's so stupid. But I'm gonna go get me some obey season and I'm gonna send it to my niece and tell her I want her to obey God.
You're right. Amen. Let the church say amen. Look, don't judge.
I ain't judging you.
I'm gonna get the family size and send it to you.
That's all right. I got the restaurant size already because I do a lot of crab boils and stuff. So
go ahead, Kim. Go. I can't talk about this.
Now I'm hungry for some seafood.
No, but I'm just saying. And the reason why I brought that up, because I brought that up to show everybody that it don't matter what economic place you from, what level you from, what race you are, you could be just that duped especially when you're new in Christ again, or you're a baby in Christ. You can be duped like that because, if you're not well versed in the Bible, you're like, oh wow, then this got to be true. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Give me your stimulus check for these stock tips. Same thing.
No, not for stock tips, but
I'm calling the SEC real soon. I'm serious. I am.
But just so you know, you don't have
like Carpet John Conwell. You see what happened?
Right, but you don't be ashamed of that. Everybody go through that at some point in life.
Oh, I got duped. If you watch this program long enough, I done told y'all I was duped by Robert Tilton. I thought Robert Tilton was the best thing since sliced bread because he said success in life, and I wanted success in life. So I would I would make my $1,000 vow and do all of that kind of stuff, and I bought all the books, and I was duped. I was duped. He's the only one that ever got me.
Right, Juanita was the only one that ever got me.
I ain't got. I guess because I was in the street.
No, you didn't get got because you was raised by black people. You were surrounded by black people, and niggas ain't dummies. And no, we slow, but we ain't dumb. And when you hang around a bunch of black people, they had already hipped you the game. I'm over here watching these white folks talking about success in life and order this tape and roto, put your hand on the screen, all this foolishness. And so of course we'll get duped.
I got duped at my aunt's another great aunt's church, and they were like, they were Baptists, but they were becoming more like a Kojic church. So they speak in tongues. They had women evangelists. They fall out on the floor. They come out with the white sheet, and they had a prophetess one Sunday. And my stupid self,
Kimberly Brown.
No.
Oh.
So it wasn't her.
You was dumb. You was dumb.
And it's like, I need so many women in here to sow a seed. God is gonna deliver you. He's gonna give you success. And my dumb self with my new job wrote a check.
Yeah, I could feel that.
And then later on, I realized, wait a minute, I had a bill I needed to pay.
And did the check bounce? Did the check bounce?
It didn't bounce, but I was just short later on, and I kept waiting for that thing that she said was going to happen. I said, Lord, I was dumb. Should I be listening to this woman?
Right.
Because none of it happened that she said. None of it happened.
You should ask your question. Y'all should always ask the question. Why does anytime God need to do anything in my life, it begins at my wallet? Everything that's done that God needs to do in America always starts with the wallet of the Christian. And he can't move, he can't bless you, he can't heal you, he can't do nothing until you open up your wallet. And that should be the clue to somebody that something is wrong. That's all I'm saying.
So
that's true.
And then Bynum is something else. Now, Ray of Sunshine, I don't know if you know, because I did watch the Oral Roberts versus Ohio game today on the tournament, but I don't know if you guys saw it today, but that whole story behind how Oral Roberts built that university and so forth is very interesting, and I'll maybe tell y'all that another night. But yeah, I saw that game. It's the truth.
Hey, everyone. This is just a reminder to please join us over there on our 18 Facebook group. But you have to understand, you must answer all 3 questions. And I keep getting these alerts for people who don't answer the question, and we give you hints. What does Darryl smoke is the first question. Darryl, can you show him what you
Darryl, can you please? Thank you.
Cigar.
What is that? That's not a blunt. That's not a blunt.
That's a cigar.
That's a cigar.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
And what is Marcellus Mad Church's nickname is?
Okay, we said
Pooh Bear.
Okay.
Bear.
Pooh Bear, Winnie the
Pooh
Pooh Bear.
Pooh Bear and the honey
Me
pot.
and you.
Pastor.
Winnie the Pooh. You understand? Pooh Bear.
Pooh Bear and the honey pots.
Pastor Peen, Prophet Peen.
Oh no, it's not. That ain't my damn name.
Prophetess Pooh. Prophetess Pooh.
Okay.
Okay, whatever. It ain't no prophetess. Here y'all go. Y'all crazy as hell.
What is Let Me See Your Transcript's dog's name?
Boy.
If it's not a girl,
Boy.
it's a boy.
And I have people who say I don't know or LOL.
That's a pen too?
Yeah.
You better not lose it. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm talking to my dog.
Okay. Cigars, Pooh Bear, Boy. His real name is Boy. Actually, his full name is Boy Roberts Jr. But then when I took him to the vet, they put my last name on there. So he's Boy Roberts.
Did you just give us the whole name of your dog?
Yes, I did give you the whole name of my dog. What's Holly's last name? We should go to the vet. Y'all don't do last names in California?
Move on, Kim.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Yes,
Move
they
on,
do.
Kim.
All right, it's that time. It's that time.
Yes.
Wait a minute. Hold up. Before we go to it, hold up. Put up MSMW50's comment. Oh my God.
What you say?
I was once at a visiting church and someone brought in a live lamb as a sacrifice.
I believe it. I believe it.
Wait,
Please,
what was this at?
Please tell me that was. Please tell me they were practicing Santeria or voodoo or something.
Girl, I would have grabbed your hand, honey. We would have been tripping each other trying to run up out of there. Girl, bye. Girl, bye. I know you lying.
If I'd have saw something like that, I'd have called the police, Peter, ASPCA, and everybody else I could think of to get on the phone.
Bishop, you need an iPhone for situations like this. So if I run into some shit like this, I could FaceTime you, like rebuke it, throw some oil.
But here's the funny part. If it normally they attribute, sacrifices and things like that done in church to African type people and stuff like that, and they think that the Africans are the ones doing that. So I'm sure the moment they start trying to do the sacrifice, Kim would have started looking around for a husband.
I would no, I wasn't looking around like how many Nigerians in here. It's time for me to go.
Because all her husbands be Hubu and Ubu.
I only had one husband.
eBay from Good Times.
Right.
Dude.
Kim would have been like, "This is great. You can find you a good husband up in here. They sacrificing animals and everything."
I rebuke this in the name of Jesus.
After church, we can have a feast. We can kill him and cook him.
Yes, I would have started crying because somebody come get me, Roxanne. Somebody come get me.
Oh man, that is horrible. We are horrible.
If I had seen something like that, I'd have called the police. We'd have all been on the news that day. I'm like,
why would you have called the police? The police weren't gonna come. The police party was like, I am not fucking with them niggas.
Exactly.
I'd have called the cops. I said, "It's somebody in here that abused the dog." Them white folk would have showed up.
Listen,
I'm gonna tell you. I know you want to know the real truth. What I would have done, I would have acted like I was in the spirit and started shouting and ran the hell on up out the door. Hallelujah! And I'd have just took right on off. I'd have took right on off.
I'd have ran out with the lamb though.
look, I feel the spirit.
No. True story. My auntie invited me to a church one night. This is true story. I cannot make this up, and I'm gonna put this on record because my cousin Mimi, if you ever see this story, she can verify that this happened. You guys, no. I don't play with churches, and I don't play with people like that. So the pastor lady, we went. It's supposed to be a Bible study. So my auntie is following behind this new lady, right? The lady's so fat she can't stand up, Darryl. She preaching all from the seat, from the chair. She cannot stand up. She won't stand up. So she done kept them in this Bible study. Now we've been in Bible study a good 2, 3, if not 4 hours. I mean, this shit is like never ending. So in the middle of the Bible study, I stood up and turned around to my aunt because unfortunately she had driven, and I held my hand out just like this, and I said as loud as I could, "Keys, please," which was to give an indication to the pastor lady, you just been talking too damn long, and I'm ready to go. It's time to go. And so I don't play those kind of games with church people. So I asked for the keys, and I left my entire family sitting inside of that church, and I went out to the car and sat my ass in the car because I wanted some fresh air, and we had been in there too damn long. I went to the store. I think while they were still in there, I went and got me something to drink, and I was like, I'm not staying up in this Bible study. And that lady couldn't stand me, and I didn't like her, and she didn't like me, because I'm like, how you gonna preach to me from the Bible and you can't even stand up? You can't even stand up. I don't like people like that. I just thought
I guess I'm confused because I thought all Bible studies was like at a table or something. They were just small. I didn't know Bible, it had to be in like the big sanctuary.
No, the Bible colleges are at a table.
Right, normally. Mm-hmm. Well, some of them. No, some of them are. You didn't know that the Bible colleges have tables in them? Some of them do.
Yeah.
No, seriously.
Yeah, they do. That's where people be getting their PhDs.
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, it is what it is. But I know I asked that lady. I asked my aunt for them damn keys. I'm out of here, and I'll do that at anybody's church.
She gave them to you too. That's what
she sure did.
And she gave because
I don't play. Because I told them before we went in, if this lady takes too damn long, I'm out of here. Because I don't believe that God needs to take 4 hours to give me no kind of a message. I got too much stuff to do. We got jobs. We have stuff to do. And I don't believe God needs 4 hours to tell me anything. I don't believe that. And no, it wasn't Angie Ray, Lynn. It wasn't Angie Ray. Even though I think they made an excuse for Angie Ray later, but we'll talk about that another day.
Who is Angie Ray? Oh, Lord.
She's the woman who had 4 girls. All of them is most of them is big, except the one who's the pastor now. But all of them is some big girls. But she never stood up to preach. She always sat down in the chair because she needed help. And they tried to say that she had some sort of health condition that they never told you what it was. And I'm just like, something ain't right here. No, lady, you just keep gaining weight, and you never move. And if you don't move, you're gonna see Jesus.
In the medical field, they say if you don't move it, you lose it.
Yeah, you're done. It is what it is. And that Angie Ray was big. She was huge.
She dead?
She gone. She's with the Lord. Let's move on, please.
Okay.
Because I was about to cry. I'm sorry.
I'm thinking about Marcella last night. Oh, Lord.
Is she gonna start the song over again?
I sure am, because we had a whole nother conversation after this last time we were up here.
Go ahead. All
right. It's time for our Nutville city limits. Who wants to go first, Marcellus or Darryl?
Darryl is probably gonna be more. You want me to go? I'll go because I'm thinking yours probably gonna be more interesting than mine. Because I always got to get with these nutbags. Okay, let's go, Kim. Okay, Brian Carn. the prophet who just slept with his other friend's wife allegedly decided he was going to do a gas on God. He's going to do a $10,000 free gas giveaway. Now here's a funny thing that I want to say about this. To me, this is all publicity to get the people in the community on your side because you a no good ass nigga.
Period.
So if you do nice things, it's like a drug dealer who hands out turkeys from the back of the truck, even though he been selling crack to the community and stealing from the community that whole time. So this is just him opening up the back of the truck and giving out gas on God. First of all, God don't give out gas. That's number one. God don't give two craps about gas. That's number two. And this is a man who slept with allegedly slept with his friend's wife. And now he's trying to do public relations so that the people don't turn on him and the community don't turn on him. Brian Carn, this is some bullshit. I see this from a mile away. You just get on my nerves every time you do something. Now, here's another thing I want to bring up. If you can give away $10,000 free on gas,
come on now,
then why the hell did you need a PPP loan? Why did you have to take the government's money if you can be passing out $10,000, which says to me you got extra money lying around that you can give away $10,000 of gas money? So my thing is something is off here because these churches seem to have an overabundance of money that they can just do. They can give away this gas on God stuff. Then why are you asking for the taxpayers' money so you can meet your financial obligations with your payroll? I have a problem with it. Kim, next slide, please. And when he posted it, this is how he posted: a new location update. KCC will be giving away $10,000 worth of free gas to the community today. My thing is this. Why wouldn't you start with the members of your church? Because I'm sure that those Negroes need the gas to get to and from church. Because you still keep asking them to come to the church. So shouldn't you have bought gas cards that you could have passed out to the members of your church and just been like, hey, saints, we want to bless you this week as you walk out of the congregation, had an usher to hand them a $25 gas card? But you're going to give the gas card to the people in the community because you're trying to get them to come to your broke down ass church. And you're trying to woo them into your church, your COVID filled church, where you yourself allegedly had COVID. That's all I'm saying. This is public relations 101, and this is bullshit. And this is one of the reasons why Brian Carn gets on my last nerve. Next, Darryl.
I thought he was supposed to sit down. He's going sabbatical or something. Like he's done?
There's no such thing as no sabbatical with these folks. I told you that, Kim.
Okay. All right. Darryl, which one do you want me to show?
Lord bless
you. Whichever one you pick first, I'm just gonna rock with it.
You know what? That's your problem.
Oh no. Oh Lord, now you're on my screen. Now he's on my computer screen. Father and the God.
I'm gonna just let you look at that for a minute, and then I'm gonna give you the backstory. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. As we know, Larry has been asking people to take their stimulus money and invest in his stock tips that he's been giving them. Stock tips that he's not qualified to give, a man with bankruptcies and all the other stuff that he has. But people are seriously considering his stock tips. So to give himself some, I guess, make him look more legit, he brings this expert on who, doing my research and talking to people offline, this lady's name is Rosalind. He brought her on as a stock expert, but what she is one of his largest LRL financial contributors.
Okay.
So one hand washes the other. I give you some money, then you come on, help me get some more money.
Right. Well, this is the old wagon old country and western, pull the new wagon into the community with your bottle of elixir and tell all of the community that your bottle of elixir heals all kind of manner of diseases, and you invite somebody out and to sit in the audience, so when your truck and wagon pull up, you can say, hey, come and pay attention to my stock tips. And then you got all these dummies in the comment section going, yeah, because Larry told me to do this, and I'm healed today, and I got this because I drank this elixir. This is the same scam that has always been run.
He's not a stockbroker. He shouldn't be giving advice.
And see, he's doing it in Patreon. So he getting paid 3 times. And for those of you that didn't know, when you buy his year subscription in Patreon and you stop supporting him, you don't get your money back. You just kiss that $144 goodbye. Because he keeps you for a year. That's why he pitches that you should subscribe for a year. So even if you stop supporting him, he still got your money. Okay, next slide, please.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
Just let y'all look at this for about 10 seconds. Then I'm going to talk. I'm going to count down. 10, 9.
Look, this is a whole mess. Look at that damn jacket screaming for just screaming. Look at that.
I'm catching.
What's wrong with his wig? What's the weave about?
Ladies and gentlemen.
Is that nails on his hand with bracelets?
Yes.
Yes.
Do we have titties?
Well, he's trying to make it look like he got some, don't he? That jacket's so damn tight, he's trying to make it look like he got some. Go ahead.
When you put on a shirt and your button is just screaming, and Kim made an excellent video about this today on TikTok, and it made me laugh with the singing button. And
I did see it. Now that one I did see.
This nigga shirt so tight. He gotta take that shit off the thing. I mean, when you wear something that tight, compression and compression socks in the hospital for blood clots ain't even this tight.
But Darryl, that's one of the reasons why he always looks like he's in agony. Now I understand it. The pain on his face is always relative to the outfits that he is wearing, because he looks like he's in pain. Don't he look like he's in pain?
He looks like his whole chest hurt. He looks like his whole chest hurt.
What he has on is what I call a gay man's corset. That's the best way I know to describe this whole outfit. This is a gay man's corset. He is trying to shrink or waist shaper or whatever them body shapers that women wear.
Waist trainers.
Yeah, waist trainer. This is a whole upper body trainer. Because anytime you wear pants that tight that makes you not need, and you wear a jacket so tight, you know that somebody in the 4th grade.
But look at the shirt though. You see what be above? You see that space that's bulging out above the jacket right there?
If one of them buttons pop, he gonna get an aggravated attempted murder charge, because that shit gonna fly across the yard at like 300-400 miles out. Gonna be a pew pew. It's a 22. That's what's gonna happen.
Well, I can't say you wrong there.
Hey, that shit gonna travel across there like he's shooting AR-15 rounds out of a gun. See,
I cannot.
See, when you gotta hold your hand, when your clothes are so tight that it constricts your body posture like that, that's a sign. You know, I don't know what he's trying to hold in. That's like stuffing 15 pounds down into a 5-pound bag of sugar. And he's hurt. That's agony right there. Like you said.
I tell you, he has agony on his face.
When your face is right there, that's your clothes holding your lungs in. You can't get no air. You're like,
Father,
and you know something, Darryl?
There's something wrong with that boy. There's something wrong with him.
You know,
something wrong with that boy.
I don't know if you saw my video where I showed the clip where he was making comments about black women, their hair, calling one black lady in Miami. What I didn't put in that video, in a much longer video, he talks to another man that's in the room that is his friend, and they were all eating pizza. But the other man is bigger. He was like, "Why are you so big?" you've been eating a lot since you've been at home with the COVID. And then he started saying like, when I see myself gaining weight, I go to the toilet. Basically, he's saying he's like an anorexic or
who said that? William?
Yes, like he starts throwing up. He said, "Yeah, the toilet becomes my friend. I stay in there so I can keep my shape because I'm not going to be big anymore."
What shape? Like, this egg Humpty Dumpty shape that he's referring
to? Because he used to be a big guy, so he's like, "I'm not going to be that big anymore." And I was like, "Dude, are you feeling like?"
William used to weigh almost 300 pounds.
Yeah.
He was big like I was when I first met William.
But in his mind, he still weighed 300 pounds there.
Yeah, When I met William back in 2005, which is the last time I physically saw him, William was 300 pounds. And I was 350. So we was about the same size. And
I think I need him to go back up. He need to go back up to 350. He's the only person I'll recommend. You just go ahead and put that weight back on.
Yeah, he's like right here on me, so he's not a tall guy at all. He's under 6 feet tall. So he's very self-conscious, you know, and what I've come to find out in the gay community, they talk about you worse in the gay community if you're a heavyset gay man than straight people do.
What?
Yeah, they are really, you notice the more quote unquote attractive beautiful people in the gay community are the very, very thin ones.
Yeah.
Darryl, I'm gonna share something with you offline that you just made me think. I was gonna share something with you earlier this week, but I didn't. Yeah, you made me remember something. I got a picture I need you to see. But anyway, go ahead.
Oh Lord. But ladies and gentlemen, the worst thing you can ever do, self-hatred is the worst thing. This is a prime example of someone who hates themselves.
Yeah.
You do stuff like this when you hate yourself. Nobody in their right mind would put acrylic nails on and a nappy man bun and you know you wearing a 3T shirt for a toddler. And you got on that Easter jacket that our mamas used to make me and Marcellus wear when we were little kids with the short pants.
My mama didn't give me no damn Easter jacket that look anywhere near that shit. No, hell no. No, my mama ain't give me no Easter jacket with that damn tight ass button. Hell to the no. And then that damn Lord, you done made me catch the Holy Ghost in here. Wait a minute.
Let the Spirit lead you. Let the Spirit lead you, Bishop.
My mama ain't never gave me no tight ass jacket that looked like that. Hell no.
But his outfit, you know what his outfit reminds me of though, because I'm looking at the color and look like how he used to dress. This is my thing. I don't think that suit he's wearing that suit like that because he's been eating. I think he's because that's the only suit that he has available.
Oh bullshit!
Quick enough, and he went to wash it by hand, put it in the dryer because he can't afford dry cleaning no more, and that damn suit shrunk because it looks faded.
No, this nigga dressed like he on his way to Sesame Street every motherfucking day. That's some bullshit there, Kim. But he dressed like this every day, and the clothes be dirty, the hat be nasty. He be trying to pretend like his name brand, and the shit be all fucked up.
Because he's not cleaning himself up like he used to.
Okay, but I'm just saying.
Back in the day when he was heavier, Marcellus and Kim, he didn't wear them kind of clothes and them kind of colors. He did not dress like that. He really didn't. William had his bow ties were the only thing that was extravagant about him. He didn't wear no acrylic nails and all them bangles and stuff in this jacket and pants like he got on now and the big crazy hats. He didn't start doing that until after his obnoxious TV thing got shut down by that lawsuit. That's when he snapped, crackled, and popped.
What?
If my mother would have came home with a jacket like that, I'm tell you, I would have ran away. My mother would have had to come to my grandmother's house because I would have went to my grandmother's house and told my grandmother that my mother had bought me some sort of Sesame Street at the grocery store ass jacket. And we would have had all sorts of problems. This man looked like a whole sponge. He looked like somebody's about to pour some water on him and he's about to soak up all the water in order for him to bring back the life of that jacket. I guarantee you right now, if you pour some cold water on that motherfucker right now, that jacket would shrivel up and choke the shit out of him. He would suffocate from that jacket in itself. That's some bullshit. Forget being choked by the bow tie, nigga. You choked by your own damn jacket. Your own damn jacket.
And then he's standing in front of somebody's car like it's his. That person had to hit the horn and like, get your ass out the street before I run you over.
It's getting kind of hectic.
Don't you do Penny like that? Don't you do Penny?
But y'all do know why he wear
Don't you do Penny like that?
Y'all know why he wear all them bracelets and stuff, though. Why y'all know why he wear all that them bracelets? He wear all that stuff so to make enough noise, so if he walks into a room, he won't scare you. Because if that motherfucker didn't have them bells and whistles on, and he walked into a dark room and you saw his ass, you would jump sky high. That's why he has to wear all them damn bells and bangles and jangles. You know, he running around there going jangalang, 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 jangalang.
Oh,
get out of here with that foolishness.
You ain't lying. Oh, boy. That's all you hear. That's all you hear on the lives is all that racket on his arm.
Jangalang, jangalang.
You got that other picture that I posted in the Facebook group when he was doing like this
with those glasses.
Yeah, I got that one.
Can you put it up real quick, please?
Hold on, I might have to go.
Hold on, I'm gonna send it to your phone.
Yeah, send it to my phone.
I want people to see that right there.
Send it to the Facebook Messenger, then I can just put it up from there.
That's what I'm doing now. I'm going in there
I
now.
almost used that other one for the TikTok, but I was like, nah, I want people to watch my TikTok.
Yeah, they wouldn't have spoke to you no more.
Thank God. Thank God. Right. You wouldn't be like,
You ain't shit. You ain't shit.
Living here alone.
You ain't shit.
Wow.
You ain't shit for that. You ain't shit for that.
What?
But
What I do?
Mute us.
When I sent
when the song comes on, it mutes you, not me.
When I sent that to Granny Exposed. Lord have mercy.
Well, Kim, the last two videos Kim have made, I must admit, have been very funny. That Umar one that she made and this one has actually she pulled those two out. I was like, okay, those are two that were very good.
Did you get the Kim? Did you get the picture I just sent?
Yes, and I thought you were showing the other picture of him in the suit when his mouth was doing it, but not this one. Really, Darryl?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is William McRae.
Wow. That looks like a fungus has grown all over his face, and I know that this has probably been enhanced in some kind of way.
No,
because I'm gonna pray that his face don't look like that up close.
That's him without the foundation.
That is the most ugly, disgusting. That's nasty, Darryl. He's got fungus. He got fungus all over his face. That's fungus.
Fungus, bacteria, all that.
You need to see a dermatologist.
That's razor bump. That's razor bumps. That's razor bumps, and when and him without his pancake 38 foundation.
Kim, I need to make an announcement. I'm catching hell by even looking at this photograph. I'm catching hell.
Here we done with that picture.
I'm catching hell. That's a doggone shame.
In the extended stay alone.
That's a doggone shame.
He had a nerve enough to say something about Ryan Chandler. I'm like, really, dude?
Oh, now listen, let me tell you something. Now, in all transparency, that Ryan Chandler keeps me laughing so damn hard because he's so stupid. He gonna end up having to pay somebody $500,000 because he's so dumb. He got the Larry Reed spirit. He got the Larry Reed spirit on him.
Yes, he do. Yes,
he really do.
And then I was cutting up in this live feed last night. I said, Queen?
Oh yeah, Darryl, you was messed up for that. I looked up because I was in the chat typing, right? Because I was asking Ryan. I said, "Well, what was the music that was playing?" Then all of a sudden, I see something pop up. Darryl Moore say Queen, and Ryan leaned into the camera talking about Queen. Who, me, Queen? I said, "Oh,
dude,
shit.
Yes, you saw. Yeah, who, me, Queen."
Shit.
Oh my.
He said Darryl Moore said Queen. Who, me? I threw his whole game off with just one word: Queen, and a woman with a crown on her head.
That shit was hilarious. But if you haven't seen it, inside the chat, somewhere inside our Facebook group, there is a video where he broke down on the side of the road. I don't give a fuck what y'all say. That shit was funny as hell. I've never seen a grown man not be able to change a tire. This man let a female sheriff come and work on his car and change his and help him change his tire. He gonna point to the woman in the camera talking about, I need to learn how to change a tire like her. I see this a whole grown man who can't change a tire. I was like, this is some crazy stuff. And it even got worse. Instead of him putting his own stuff in the back of his car, he gonna have the sheriff lady to start putting all the stuff back in the car. He was totally lazy. Like he wouldn't even pick up his own stuff. Hilarious.
About him when she got back to the precinct.
Hilarious.
About my
and he gonna get out of the car. He gonna get out of the car, Darryl, with his phone up in the air, talking about, I got to hurry up. I think they got lions and tigers and bears out here. Dude, I was cracking my ass up. I ain't gonna lie. I was laughing so damn hard. I said, this nigga is the quintessential
Ryan Chandler, no relation. He's a prophet or something, right?
Dude,
right? No, they're not no relation.
He's a church queen. And how long he done had braces for like 5 years? How long did you wear braces? I believe that nigga.
Those are adult braces.
No, but but if you take a long time, Darryl, to fix stuff, and I didn't know this, but as you get older, your teeth spread. I didn't know that because eventually the doctor keeps telling me I'm gonna end up having to get them myself, which I'm just fighting. Yeah, because your teeth actually spread as you get older. So I'm just like, not your bottom ones. A lot of times it may not be your bottom ones; it may be the top. But anyway, but I will tell you this: that Ryan Chandler is a hoot. If you ever want to have a good laugh. Yeah, that fool will have you cracking up. And you know he does the DoorDashing and the Ubering and stuff, and he's still a pastor. Y'all know that, right? People are still calling him pastor. He goes to his church. A lot of times he do his lives from the car. He be outside in the church parking lot. The dude is hilarious, dude. I can't believe somebody calls him pastor. That's what be cracking me up.
Right.
Somebody calls him daddy as well. He has kids. He has like one or two kids.
And he still wears his wedding ring. I noticed that. He still wears his wedding ring. Darryl go ask me the other day, was he married to a woman? I was like, at one point.
At one point he was, yes.
At one
Not
point.
anymore, but at one point he was.
Before he went to prison. Yeah, I remember he went to prison. I didn't know he was married before he went to prison.
Yeah. Well, him and Juanita Bynum went to jail in the same week. A lot of people don't know that.
I remember that.
Yeah, they went to jail in the same week. I'll never forget that. That's hilarious.
That's sunshine, girl. You missed out on that one.
Yeah, but if you want to go in the chat, Ryan Chandler is being sued for $500,000 because of one of the videos that I have up on my channel right now.
We was fucking. What was you doing, Mr. Chandler? We was fucking.
No, he's being sued.
No, say it like he said. We was fucking.
Well, that's how he said it, like chicken, bucking. That's how he said it.
Yep, with them braces and his overbite. That he could bite he could bite an apple through a fence.
Oh my God, it's the way he talks that cracks me up, dude. I'd be like, this dude is really too much. He's too much.
Somebody actually thought he was a straight man and married him and had kids.
They didn't think so. No, she didn't think he was straight. There's no way in hell she thought that dude was straight. Now, I'm serious. Now, don't play that game. Now, Darryl.
Where does wedding picture look like?
No, ain't no way in hell she thought Ryan Chandler was no straight dude. That's some bullshit from north, south, east, and west.
Well, she had babies by him, right?
Sure did.
That don't mean that she thought she was straight. A lot of these women go after those guys because they know those guys is gay, and they know that those guys have churches and they pastors and they want to be the first lady. And sometimes they be lesbians. Now, I'm not gonna mention no names, but we have seen that play itself out with the stuff that you dealing with. I'm just saying. I didn't think that dude was no straight guy with the way he talked. Ain't no way in the world in the world.
Yeah, Platter. What's the man named Platter?
Yeah, the one.
Lorenzo Platter. And now he run it. Look, you remember how Larry used to have to call Edie Smith? He kept calling Edie Smith the Church of Horrors, the House of Horrors,
right?
And he kept calling him a different name, right? Well, now that's what Ryan Chandler's doing. He's calling Lorenzo Platter Loretta. He just changed his name, call him Loretta, and then he got another name. When I tell y'all, he just be cracking me up. That should be funny as hell, though. But he got to get that man $500,000.
That's crazy.
From where? I don't know.
That's crazy.
All right, y'all. Here's my.
He gonna have to do what William said. William said he be selling the ass. That's what William said. William know,
right? Right. William would know. William would know.
That's what William said. That's all I'm saying. Go ahead, Kim. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
All right, no problem. This is my Nutville. I mentioned my last live. If one of the moderators can put a link to my last live from Tuesday. We're talking about the Texas tea, all this craziness in Texas. This lady right here. Oh, Lord. I call her unmasked Karen. As you know, in Texas, our governor has repealed the mandatory mask mandate. And so you don't have to wear a mask in every building. However, you still can. But there are businesses who say, hey, you still got to wear a mask to come in here. Right. And one of those places was this Bank of America. I show in my live video a video where she actually gets arrested by a cop.
Wow.
For not wearing a mask, not following the guidelines. Well, guess what she did?
What'd she do?
Yesterday, she goes to the Office Depot in Texas City. Galveston is very close to Texas City, and refuses to wear a mask there, and gets arrested for a second time.
See, that's that white privilege.
Well, it must not be helping her because she keep getting arrested. She ain't getting
That's that white privilege to getting her arrested.
Yeah, but she thinks they shouldn't tell her to not wear a mask. Well, the governor said, we don't have to wear a mask, but it's still up to the business to allow you to come in there. So she got arrested a second time. And I'm just like, lady, are you going to go for it? And this is the thing. You got arrested, got out, and then you went to another place, did the same exact thing, and got arrested again?
Yes, because she could not believe she got a record for the second time being white.
She was like, well, they won't do it to me again. I'll go back to another store.
Right.
I hope her ass don't go to no Kroger, because Kroger already said you gotta wear a mask out there.
I don't care if she goes into Kroger or she goes into Circus City. I don't care where this white lady go. If they arrest her, throw her on the ground, handcuff her, and put her behind bars, Kim, I could give
That's what they did at the bank. She was
on the ground. Why she got to be on the ground?
Put her on the ground.
I want her on the ground. I want her face in the mud. That's what I'd like, because that's what they do to us. I need her to be roughed up. Let her be roughed up a little bit.
You know, she's not obeying the law. She's not complying. She's being a thug. Who raised her? Who raised her?
What I say?
So they say, well, that's who raised you.
That is so true, because she is being a thug right now at this point, and she's a whole white woman.
Freaking paces.
That's crazy.
I know they sending emails about her in that community. They must be like, y'all, just letting y'all know this lady might come to y'all place. So.
Well, if Smurfette gets arrested again, oh well. I don't give two shits.
Then what did she make it? And did she make it out of jail? Is she still locked up now, or did she make it out of jail?
This one happened yesterday. I gotta double check to see if she's still in there. Cause literally it was like a week ago. She went to the bank and got arrested. Then she bailed out of there, and then like either yesterday or the day before yesterday, she goes to the Office Depot and does it.
Okay, so it's fairly recent. Okay, real new. All right,
She trying to get arrested on purpose.
I want to know what's the outcome. If they let her go, that was
I'll look it up because I'm just
look at Moni love. She should, but Moni, you know that white privilege don't always make them comply now. Know that white privilege, no ma'am.
Y'all something else.
What?
Y'all something else.
Well, we've come to the end of our program. Any last words, Mina C?
Okay, so yeah, it's been real. I thank you all for having me. I hope I did Roxanne justice. You know, I didn't, because Roxanne not lit like me or crazy. So Roxanne, you just go on ahead and rest. I hope you took all your narcotics and your pain pills, and you got a drink somewhere over there, and you're not even gonna look at this till tomorrow. Here. But no, seriously, I had a great time. Thank you for having me. I'm sorry I was late. I don't know why I thought we were later, like 9 or 10. I don't know, but I'm sorry. But I had a lot to do, but I'm sorry. But thank you.
But thank you for being here. We appreciate it.
No, thank y'all for having me. I appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Okay. Marcellus McMillan, any last word? Are you still traumatized by the picture?
No, hell no. I don't be thinking about William like that tight ass suit. I don't even think about that shit.
Wait a minute, you about to get another drink.
Look, let me just simply say this was an A-Team television production. We are so glad that you guys have joined us.
Yes.
We get together every other Friday and we meet on each other's channels, of course, as I said at the beginning of the show. And we have these on each other's platform. The A-Team is not necessarily being sponsored today by the Let Me See Your Transcript channel, but we are here because as a part of the A-Team, this is what we do every single Friday. So we thank you all for joining us, and we do appreciate it. And of course, it's just been a wonderful time, and thank you guys for joining us. Please make sure that you hit the like button on your way out as Darryl Moore finishes his final statement, and I yield to the Cigar Vlog.
I would like to reclaim my time real quick. No, just playing.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. You can reclaim your time.
Go ahead.
No, I'm just playing. I just want to say.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead, Darryl.
I've been real busy, and I should have done what Marcellus did, which was take time for myself and just go somewhere and do something. I did a little bit of that last night to just kind of clear my head. Yeah, so that's why I didn't do anything this week, but I may do something Sunday. I don't know. It just depends on how I feel, but I really need to rest, y'all. And I just got to get my head clear. So
before you go, you just reminded me of something. And I know this is our Jew joint and we could talk about whatever we want to talk about. I do want to talk about the subject that you and I mentioned when talking about how to deal with the coming of age of an 18-year-old son before we leave here tonight.
Oh, okay.
I want to talk about, as a man, as a black man, How do you deal with the coming of age of an 18-year-old son and trying to bring him into manhood while dealing with a mother who may not necessarily understand the father-son dynamic and being able to bring that to fruition? Darryl, what are your thoughts about that? Because you've experienced something, and you can go into that how much you want to go into that, but talk about that for me for a minute.
When my sons there's certain benchmarks in a young man's life from father to son, like the first haircut, teaching them how to shave, how to drive, first drink they have, first whatever. If you smoke cigars, like I gave my son a cigar for his 18th birthday, and there were some people in the family, his mama, wasn't too happy about it. So it led to a nice little back and forth exchange. But I'm gonna say this: when you have a child, they're not gonna look back at the things you bought them. When you get old, that half of the stuff you buy them that you think they need or they want, they're not even gonna have it anymore. But what they will have is those memories.
And those experiences, absolutely.
Right. Daddy took me fishing. Daddy took me to get a cigar. Daddy took me somewhere. I spent this time with Daddy. Mm-hmm. Daddy took me to get a haircut. Daddy took me to a ball game. Daddy just sat in the backyard with me and we talked. Mm-hmm. I'm 51 years old. And the first thing you asked me about what I remember with my father, I remember those fishing trips, even though I didn't really care for fishing. I was with my daddy. Saturday mornings, we in the woods cutting firewood for the house. Sometimes half of the time we sitting out in the woods, we were just sitting on the back of the truck or the tractor just talking.
Well, Darryl, let me not to cut you off, but I want to go here for just a second, because the phone call that you received from your child's mother, which was quite problematic. Mm-hmm. My question to you is this: what is it about some women? And I'm not going to put this on any ethnic group or any group of women, because this runs across the board, regardless if you're black, white, whatever. Mm-hmm. What is wrong with women who do not understand, and they talk to the father or they talk to the man like some kind of way? We don't have any parental skills, and they're the only ones who are wise enough to raise a child. And some kind of way we are so stupid that we can't develop those types of relationships or have those types of relationship with children. What is it about women that they overstep the bounds like that and keep talking to grown men like we don't know,
like they're a child, like you're a child, like you the other child in the house? This is my personal opinion. I think it started happening like that when white women's feminist movement infiltrated the black community. Because that's when the shift changed. When I was a child, you saw two-parent homes were the norm. The feminist movement came along after I was born. Now a two-parent home is a rarity.
You see Kim's face? You do know Kim is a feminist, so you see her face and how she's looking. Okay,
I didn't say nothing. I didn't say nothing.
You didn't have to say it. It's all over your face.
if you look now, I don't know how it is now, but there was a time like when my aunt lived in the projects, a man over 18 couldn't live in your house.
That is correct.
So that's a breakdown of the family right there. If you kill the head, which is biblically is the man, the body will die. So if you remove the man from his position in the family will fall apart. So you got this feminist movement that was not a part of our culture. Oh, well, you don't need this and you don't need that. You combine the white feminist movement, and then you put all this other stuff like this Planned Parenthood, which you happen to always see in our communities. And next thing you know, our family dynamic does this. You don't need no man. You don't need that man. That man is a burden around your neck. So you got a generation of people that start growing up thinking that the man it's an option instead of a necessity. So then men, now on the flip side, there's men that got along with that program that they can hit it and quit it and disappear too, because that's what they were fed into their minds. When no, that's not order. You're to be the provider and the leader of that house, and you sit your ass down. You don't get your hat after the baby show up. You stay your ass right there.
All right, go to Mina C before she explode. Go, Mina.
First of all, okay, don't you dare ever in your life, as long as we remain the keepers of life. Let me explain something to you men. The reason why us women do that is because we carried the baby for 9 months. So that's our property. And nobody will ever do it than a mama. Now, that's not
kangaroos have a pouch, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they have the best parenting skills. Yeah, I said it. I'm listening.
We carry babies. We nurture. From little seedling to little piece of nut.
Okay, but can you wait a minute? Can you carry that baby without my nut?
No.
You don't get that baby without my nut, right?
But I'm carrying.
Okay, that's all I want to know. So stop all of that foolishness. That's just how God set the system up. Don't blame me because God set the system up that way.
Listen here, sir.
I'm listening, ma'am.
But you ain't carrying no baby. You don't have a maternal connection. You have a fraternal connection.
Now wait a minute.
Because women, no, and no. You ain't carrying a baby. You ain't peeing all day. You can't laugh without peeing on yourself.
Okay, y'all.
Now wait a minute. Let me just say this. I get what you're saying, Mina. But here's the thing. I think women in the disconnect that makes me so frustrated, because there are instances where women choose to have those babies and they don't want anything to do with the child. Some of them. And then they, there's so many dynamics to this that I could take this conversation, but I'm gonna keep it on track for what I want to talk about with Darryl. Let me just stay on track. I ain't about to go off track here.
I'm sorry, Bishop. I'm sorry.
That's okay. So let me stay on track. The point I'm trying to make is when a young man who is being raised by his father, and his father wants to bring him to a place of manhood and understand and give him certain experiences as a man, I don't understand why some women either feel threatened by that or they try and belittle the father to the point to where they try to make the father feel as if the decisions and choices that he make are stupid and they're dumb and they should not be made. You're not a man. So when it comes to raising a man, you do not have the ability, as far as I'm concerned. He may have come from your kangaroo pouch, but you do not have the ability to raise, in my opinion, a man to a full-fledged into manhood, period.
You're right, because I am a woman. So that only makes sense. I will never know what it is to be a man. So I feel you.
Let me...
Here he go. Yes, sir.
Let me read something to you.
Keisha, there ain't no call-in number. You ain't on the Mad Church Disease channel. You ain't on the Mad Church Disease channel tonight.
Ain't no call-in number. I know that's right, Keisha. She's like, what's the number?
Okay, go ahead, Darryl. Darryl, I love you, Keisha. That's so funny. Well, can I just say, wait, before you say this, before you say what you're going to say, Darryl, let me tell you why I'm talking about this. I did not appreciate what Darryl said to me that he had to deal with from his child's mother. I did not appreciate it. And it annoyed me to the point to where I don't understand why women think that kind of behavior is okay. First of all, her son is now 18 years old, and her son has been being taken care of by his father. By his father. And so obviously Darryl has the ability to take care of a child because that's where her child is. So for her to get on the phone and disrespect him to the point to where she did today, and women do this often. And I did not appreciate it. And I said, as a man, what is it about women that they don't understand when a man takes his son into certain activities and things as he's being brought into manhood? Why can't women just stay out of that? You know, women always asking you to stay out of certain things when it comes to raising a child. I don't understand why certain things that women just don't know how to stay out of. If I'm talking to my son and I'm dealing with my son and bringing him into a situation, I don't need your input. And I'm going to yield the floor to Darryl, not Kimberly. Darryl, you go next because I interrupted you. Kim, you wait your turn. Go, Darryl.
So,
no love. Right.
So I said, I had posted the picture, you know, laughing about him taking a few puffs of the cigar. And then I get this message. So how I jumped from the cigar to me being a horrible father. So I said, you know what? I said, I was going to go there. And then I said to myself, I said, you know what? Our son, and I said exactly what I said, our son turned 18 yesterday. So you and I, whatever your feelings are about me, they're mute. Whatever I feel about you is mute at this point. Right. The only thing we need to do is be civil as it pertains to our adult child from now until the day we either die or he dies. You and I don't have to have any further dealings. Let's respectfully agree to disagree.
Okay.
I thought that was the end of it.
Right.
No. I get read the riot act about everything that I've done since she ever knew who I was. So I didn't let her bait me. I just looked and I said, you know what? It's obvious that you have some things that you and a therapist need to work through. I'm not a therapist. I picked up my son and I went there. So I picked up my son from the airport October 28th, 2018, when you put him on a one-way ticket in the middle of the night and sent him to me because you couldn't do the job. The job that you asked to do because you denied me access to my son from the time he was born until he was 15. I have been going to court. I had never said this. Now he's old enough to know now. We've talked. I didn't even know I was his daddy until he was 3.
What?
From the time he was 3 until I picked him up 12 years later, I was denied access to my son on every turn other than phone calls. She was so angry at me because me and her weren't going to be in a relationship. She sent my son to visit my parents and didn't want me to even come down into my own mom and daddy's house.
And this message is being brought to you by I'm mad that the dick be gone. This commercial is regarding dick be gone because the dick be gone. Now she's mad, and this is a perfect example of what happens when the dick be gone. Go ahead, Darryl. I'm sorry.
And mind you, during that 12 years, she had a whole man living in her house that she's now married to.
But she didn't have Darryl's dick, and that's what she really wanted. Go ahead, Darryl.
And who was mistreating my child until he got tired one day, and the dude thought he gonna swell up at my son and didn't know my son had took martial arts and flipped his fat ass through a wall. And that's how he got on a plane in the middle of the night to his daddy. Because the state of California, which she likes to throw in my face, well, we don't act like that. We don't do this here in California. I said, well, the state of California, ma'am. And I told her in the phone, I said, the state of California told you that my child couldn't come back to your house. So your hands were tied and you had to send him to his daddy, who had been fighting for him from the time that I found out he was mine. But you didn't tell him. You didn't tell him all that. You just told him he had a daddy that didn't want nothing to do with him. And when he found out on his own that his daddy, and when I showed him all the court documents I had in a damn footlocker of me being dragged into court every 3 months because she looked on TV and saw my face on TV and said, well, based on what he does as an actor, I should get X amount of dollars. And she tried to hit me up for $5,000 a month in child support. I said, do you think I'm Denzel Washington or something? I said, I had one part in a little movie and the rest is all little small parts. I don't make that kind of money. I said, that was something I was doing. And then it got to the point where the judge said, ma'am, you are trying to use this court to retaliate against a man who no longer wants to be bothered with you.
Right.
And her own mother even said it to her privately, which caused them to have a rift because my son graduates in May and she don't even want her own mama to come. But guess what? I paid for mama's plane ticket. Grandmama gonna be here and I paid for her hotel room because we only get 10 graduation tickets and grandmama gonna get that graduation ticket if I have to sit outside. But see, I was cool until today. And when I got that text message about me giving my adult son a cigar, oh, you can kiss all of my ass till the sun don't shine no more in the sky.
Oh,
I say, I don't normally nut up like that, but he's a grown man now, and he knows. And my son said to me, I am so thankful to God that you took me in. I said, you're my child. Why wouldn't I? Well, I was told that you didn't want to have anything to do with me.
I believe it.
And I said, no, son. I told him that when he first got here. I said, you are my flesh and blood. She was so vindictive towards me and denying me access. She wanted to have me give up my parental rights so her husband could adopt him. And I said, I'm not giving up my parental rights to my flesh and blood. Are you high? That's my son. And and that's a lot of stuff. Y'all see me laughing. Y'all don't know the story. If I told you half of what I've been going through,
okay, Roxanne,
it wouldn't be a dry eye.
Well, see, here's the thing, and the reason why I brought that up, Darryl, is because there are black men in this world who are very passionate about their kids. I have said to you on many occasions, Darryl, that I love the interaction between you and your sons and how you handle and how you deal with your boys. I've always said that. But I've always told you that. So to hear the stuff that you were going through today, and I'm like, but you know, there are a lot of black men who go through what you go through. Yeah. And to me, it's just unfortunate because it's not like you're trying to be a deadbeat father. You understand what I'm saying? It would be different if you were a man who was just like, man, I don't want to have nothing to do with this kid. But here you are making sure he eats, making sure he has a place to lay his head, making sure that he's got a warm place to sleep. And then you're going to have some woman, you know, get in your tail about a cigar because your son is turning 18. So now your son has to register for selective service, and he could be sent off to war. Your son can act. You understand what I'm saying? Your son has got this is a whole nother situation in life. And then you got this woman over here, because she had the kangaroo pouch, still thinks that it's some kind of way her responsibility and job to chastise you. And see, that's the problem that I don't. Pouch. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
No, that's not a kangaroo pouch situation there. That ain't that. You got to take that out, Bishop. That ain't what that is. That's
the example of toxic femininity. This is what the problem is.
That's her not getting no dick, period. Yeah. There ain't want her no more. That ain't, because it ain't the fight for the son. There you go. There you go.
She's using the court system as a weapon against him. She's using the man
there you go.
To go after Darryl because he don't want to be her man.
And that's fucked up. I'm sorry, Bishop. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you were fine. I yield to Kimberly because Kimberly had something to say before I cut her off.
I was saying this is a case of toxic femininity. Unfortunately, some women use the court system to go after fathers who actually want to be present in their child's life.
Right.
So I had a little bit, I was listening to what Darryl said and what you said. And I know you're not talking about all women, but it kind of came across as that, but I know you're not. But yes, there are toxic women who make it bad for other women who are not like that.
Unfortunately,
and as for what produces these toxic women, you cannot blame the white feminist movement and Planned Parenthood. There are a lot of other factors in that too. Plus, a lot of the early divorce and child support laws actually favored men actually around that same time. What has happened is...
I think that's debatable, but continue.
There are also Black women who are in those movements. And yes, there are Black feminists who don't agree with what the white feminists do. Black feminists actually love Black men and want to be with Black men. We just don't want you to try to overrule us like Harpo trying to do to Sophia in The Color Purple. But that's a whole nother discussion.
But hold on.
Let me
wait a minute. So you get to say things like that, and I'll go. You go ahead. Go ahead.
Remember, you said what you said earlier, and I said, okay.
Okay, I'm gonna wait. Okay. I'm writing. I'm writing my notes right now. Where's my pen?
We might have to have like much deeper talk about what is producing these toxic women. Are they just because they have figured out the system and it has evolved where they can use it as a weapon against a man who doesn't want them anymore? Can we really blame Planned Parenthood, the white feminist movement? And by the way, the Planned Parenthood ain't just in Black neighborhoods. When I went to the first Planned Parenthood I went to, it was not in the Black neighborhood.
You know what?
But that's
Are you done now? Okay.
Okay.
Here's what I want to say, because I had to write it down on my paper, which I would have been able to say it faster. But let me be very clear in this statement. You saying that Black feminists love Black men, but they just don't want to be ruled. By definition, when you refer to yourself as a feminist, Kim, define feminism for me. Define it.
I'm sorry. I wasn't laughing at you, Kim.
No. Define feminism. What is a feminist?
You want a textbook definition? You want my definition?
You give me your definition, the textbook, whatever one you want to give.
Is a part, because men can be feminists too.
Go, Kim. We talking about. I said define it.
A feminist is a person who believes that women should have more equal or fair say so in matters in their life, and not have to have any bias or discrimination against them because they are women.
Okay, Kim, would you say that statistics are proving that Black feminists love Black men and favor having a Black man in their life by statistics in the society in which we live today? Would you agree that that is a true statement or a false statement?
I think it's a true statement, but I'm not looking at statistics. I'm looking at the Black feminists that I follow.
So wait a minute. Whoa. So you trying to tell me that you fundamentally believe that Black feminists support Black men and the family structure in our society? As Black feminists, they support the family structure? You telling me that?
What family structure? You talking about a nuclear family structure?
Yes, a man and a woman and a family. A family. How you define a family? A family is a husband and a wife with their children. That is a family. So you're trying to tell me that Black feminists support the family structure?
Not all the Black feminists, but most of them do. Because being a feminist is about having choices. There are some Black feminists who do not want to get married and have children. Then there are other Black feminists like, yes, I want a Black man. I want to have children. And I want my husband to be in a regular Christian, model of a Black family. Being a feminist is about having choices. We are not limited to just being married and having children. There are women who, that's what they want. They want to get married, have children, and be a wife. That's their role. God bless them. There are others who don't want that life. They want a career. Then there are some who want both.
But you can't define and I'm going to end my statement by saying this, and I'm going to move on and go ahead and end this here. Kim, I do not believe that you can define yourself as a feminist and tell me that you believe it. Well, and unless y'all can help me and understand what, have changed the definition of feminism, and maybe that I just don't get it.
Well, are you thinking about white feminism or
no.
Black feminism?
Well, see, it doesn't really matter, because the feminist movement, excuse me, the feminist movement overall is not like, even though you guys are segregated in a sense, because Black people and white people are normally segregated, but the definition of feminism and the structure of feminism is going to cross-reference itself whether you're a Black feminist or a white feminist. It's still based on the same basic premise. Now, because I don't even want to talk about this no more, because I disagree with your statement, I'm going to put on my Jefferson's theme song and go ahead and end the show.
Love you all.
Y'all know when the show is over, they just start humming.
Something wrong with y'all.
We got deep on y'all towards the end.
It's time to go.
Yeah, but that was
y'all, but Darryl, you are a good father. You're a good father.
Yes, you
now,
are.
I will say this: when I saw you and your son smoking, I was like, "Oh, this is so cute, y'all bonded." He's gonna remember this for a long time. But in the back of my head, I was like, "I wonder what his baby mama gonna say." And you just told us, and I was like, "Damn."
But see, that about to figure out. It's just a whole. It's a whole bigger thing. It's just anger and resentment, and that was just a reason to pick with me.
Hold on. Hey, anti-Afro swing guy, why is this person on here just reading on your panel all the time? Who are you talking about? Nobody's disrespecting me. We have differences of opinion.
Listen, Afro Singali, I know exactly who you are. You over there with them Umarians and these anti-fraud warriors business. I'm not disrespecting Kim. We have difference of opinion, and this is why we come together on this particular program. And I'm going to say this in the nicest way that I can. You're new to the crew and you're new to the whole setup here. So you need to sit back in the living room, listen, because I'm actually one of Kim's biggest defenders. So you might want to, you know, kind of back up off me because I know exactly what you're doing. And I want to be nice to you because I know you're a follower of Kim and I don't want to put my foot down or my digital foot down, or, you know, so I'm going to go ahead and say, God bless you. God bless you. God bless you.
Okay. I always wanted to do that on camera because when they did it on the movie,
yes, he's talking about me, Tanika Shanette. That's just because he's new here and he don't understand the dynamic. But that's okay. Who? And she's a woman. Afro Singali's a woman.
Yes.
Oh.
You know, allegedly.
Yeah, you ain't right. Look, y'all, I love y'all. Yes, anti-fraud warriors, my
no disrespect,
and members. I want us all to get along. I'm a Libra. This is Libra land tonight.
No disrespect.
Stop right there.
No disrespect.
Y'all gonna be cool. We just have difference of opinion. And that's anti-Bengali.
Listen.
Anti-Bengali. He's not like the men in the Marian sector.
This happens every time, Kim. Do you notice this happens every time we do this here? We get these anti-fraud warrior folks who come over here who don't know us and who start attacking us. I'm just saying, my tone is not harsh. I'm just honest about the things that I say, and I'm very passionate about it. These people know me, so because you're getting to know us, ma'am, I would just simply say God bless you, and I appreciate you supporting Kim. Please make sure you hit the like button and make sure you have subscribed to the channel because everything that I do here is to support Kim and to support the things that she does. So God bless you.
Yeah, that's just how we. Yeah, Darryl keeps going to.
And then, you know, keep in mind, this is Friday night.
Thank y'all so much for coming out tonight. I will put, when I get time, I will put timestamps in the description so that way you can go to certain spots that you like a lot in your chat. As African Golly, it's all good.
No, you didn't say you did. You said you did attack me. That is correct. What you said was, why is the person on your panel always disrespecting you? And that's what you said. I don't disrespect Kim. I joke with Kim just like I do everybody else on this panel. So I equally distribute the fuck shit on the panel. So you just need to understand, I fuck with everybody on the panel every Friday. And I'm just quick with it like that. That's just how we get down. That's why the show is entertaining. And that's why we're able to do the things that we do. Kim, please hit
hands up.
Kim,
hands up.
Kim,
hands up. Don't shoot.
Hit the motherfucking button, Kim. Thank you. Let's go.
You've been listening to Friday Nights with the A-Team. Please remember to visit us online at ateamtv.com. Share the show with a friend. And for God's sake, stay out of Nutville. And keep your breadbasket safe. The A-Team Friday Night Live is a production of the A-Team Television Network.